483 points to 44,072. Traffic right now, eastbound 70. There is road work at 170. The right lane is closed. You do have 2 lanes open there, but be careful for that ongoing work. And weather is sponsored by Overhead Door of St. Louis. Your garage door is the largest piece of moving equipment in your home. When it needs help, call the experts at Overhead Door for same-day service. Schedule online at Overhead Door St. Louis. That's stlewis.com or call 314-781-5200.
Still dealing with some pretty nice temperatures as we go through our Monday afternoon. A mix of clouds and sunshine. Boy, for August, excellent. 83 for the high. What a weekend that was. Then on tonight, partly cloudy skies. Evening temperatures drop back into the upper 70s. 67 for the low. On Tuesday, partly sunny. A little warmer in the afternoon, but we can deal 86 degrees for the high on Tuesday. Tuesday night, clear skies 69. Wednesday, partly sunny 88, a little more humid. Thursday, 90 to 91 degrees. Friday, about 93 for the high. Nothing extreme, kind of typical summer. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
83 right now in St. Peter's, 81 in Florissant, and downtown of the Arch, we have clouds and 81 degrees. I'm Maria Aquina, KMOX News.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Guys, welcome into DGS, also known as the Dave Glover Show. But there's no Dave Glover today or tomorrow or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday.
He's on vacation.
Dave's on vacation in Florida. We got a picture of him on the beach, legs extended. I think those were his legs.
Yeah, I hope those were his legs.
Holding a copy of today's newspaper.
Really beautiful sunset picture. Hope that he and the fam are enjoying it. It's hard not to. I don't know how hot it is there, but if it's kind of like relative to here, it's probably nice for there because obviously in Florida it's going to be a little hotter than it is up here. But we do have the rest of the crew: Rachel Zimmerman, Andrew Stoles, Kevin Wheeler with you here, hanging out. Bernie Miklasz is going to join us later. Dave Murray is going to join us later. So it's basically just the normal Dave Glover Show without Dave, which means it's not really normal. And then I think these things are, to me, they're just like day-to-day fascinating things, like what your normal is, and then even little variations, just kind of, I don't know, just, they don't put you off necessarily. It's just, you realize how different things are when there's a small change. Even small changes that, like, as an example, the last, good Lord, I think it's been now 7 weeks we've had stuff going on at our house. A little shout out to Michaels Flooring. About a month and a half ago, we had them come in and redo the hard floors in our place. They did a fantastic job. And then after that was over, we had a guy who was painting, did a phenomenal job. Great job, Jeff. He was awesome and finished yesterday.
Nice.
But like for the first time in 7 weeks, things are close to normal. Like they're where they used to be. The furniture is where it used to be. One room is not, and we still have like all the little things to put back.
Mm-hmm.
But you're like, just last night, just the whole, all right, everything is in the room it's supposed to be in, even if it's not set up. It's like that. Now it's normal again. It wasn't normal. You're sleeping in different places because this room is being painted and that room's being painted, and all of the stuff you normally have up is down in a box somewhere, or the curtains are down and the window shades are off, and everything's different. And finally it starts to get back to normal. And it wasn't like it was 6 months. It was just, 5 weeks of all of that. Well, 7 weeks counting the flooring stuff. It's amazing how good normal feels.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Well,
and like with the show, like we're going to have a lot of fun this week. I'm not like concerned about the show in any way, but we are we do operate as a family around here, and
Yeah,
if you compare
yeah.
it to a family, like anytime one of the family members is missing,
It's
the
not
vibe
normal.
is just different. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not bad, it's not wrong, and nothing like that. It's just a different dynamic than
Yeah.
it normally is.
And then next Monday, it's going to feel like normal again.
that's true.
That's kind of the point that the house thing was kind of like what we're talking about this week. It's nothing's terrible,
Mm-mm.
but it's different, and we get that, and we appreciate you tuning in. And look, this is the kind of stuff that when you're coming back from a weekend, and weekends are typically, I don't know, this was pretty chill. I don't know about you guys. This weekend felt like it was pretty chill. The weather was great. There wasn't a lot of like,
the weather.
yeah. The only thing that wasn't chill over the weekend was that the Cardinals lost 2 out of 3. But even then, now we're kind of in a point where we're not even tracking wins and losses as much because you sold at the trade deadline. So now it's more about who's playing and how they're playing, and the new boss is starting to transition in and all of that. And that's what we'll talk with Bernie about a little bit later on in the show. But I don't know about how you guys are, but Mondays I don't get the Mondays. Like, I don't get the case of the Mondays. I don't dread like Sunday night. Oh no, work tomorrow, because I actually think what we get to do is kind of cool. Now, it doesn't mean it doesn't come with challenges. Like, I would rather sleep later. I would rather not have to do errands. I would rather not, but like, to me, Mondays in radio have always been kind of fun because there's so much extra stuff. You got everything from like Friday afternoon through now at your disposal, fresh. You haven't hit it yet.
Man, I feel the opposite. Sometimes I come in
Really?
on Mondays and I'm like, why isn't there more news from over the weekend? Like, especially doing like a segment like headlines, which if you've never heard headlines before, we do towards the end of the show. And it's basically just like the headlines you might have missed throughout the day. Sometimes it's really tough to find new stuff for that on a Monday. For some reason, there are days where it's like an embarrassment of riches and other days where it's like, ugh.
There are also
All the
times.
journalists and stuff took the weekend off.
There are also times where I will feel like a bit more of a loser than usual on a Monday because I'm like, all right, time to draw up from all those wonderful experiences and thoughts that I had over the weekend for great stuff to talk about. And I'll be like, I did not have a thought, nor did I have an experience. I had neither a thought nor an experience all weekend.
Oh man, yeah. This was I needed this weekend. After the crazy week last week, this was just a good chill. Did a lot of cooking over the weekend, just cook prep for the week, but also grilling yesterday. So that stuff makes me happy.
I grilled yesterday too.
How much do you guys do that stuff where you just like get stuff like maybe it's not food, maybe it's something else, but for me, like I love the feeling after I've done this. I've cooked 3 pounds of chicken and I've cooked this big Mexican chili thing, and I made a whole bunch of extra burgers. I love the feeling of knowing that for the next 5 days, I can just pull stuff out of the fridge and go. It just makes me happy.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I've never really been one to do that. I've like meal prepped before, but usually by like day 3, I'm very tired of the chicken and rice concoction that I've put together.
Yeah, I'm big on eating something, and that's like really easy to put together, and being like, I can eat this for the rest of my life every day. That's how much I enjoyed this. And then by day 2, I'm like, all right, I'm done with peanut butter for a while.
But the Papa's always good.
Look, I'm forced to do that. If we had literally any other option,
no, that's true.
For my lazy butt not going to the store and getting more frozen meals or whatever, I would do that.
It's downstairs, folks. It's easy to eat.
That's their company slogan, I believe.
It's easy to eat.
Look, we're downstairs.
It's always there.
It's better than nothing.
Look, it's hot outside and there's literally nowhere else to eat within a mile except for like KFC, which is nothing's promised when you go to KFC. Anything could happen. It is
a little more of a consistent experience with the Papa here.
I passed our friend Ryan Wiggins when I was going down to get my pizza today. He was leaving KFC, and he said, "You're not going to KFC, are you?" And I said, "No, I am not." And he said, "Okay, good. It's strange in there today."
Yeah, I'm not. I don't have an issue with the whole eating the same thing for a while, as long as it's something I like.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll eat a bunch of anything like that, but I gotta put myself on Team Andrew with this one. Like, there's literally never a bad day for pizza.
It's true.
Like, never. It's always a good choice. And there's so many versions of it that you can't really get stuck on the same one. And of course, even if it is the same one, it's still pizza.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that.
What else rivals pizza?
Heard that.
I mean,
Spaghetti.
Tacos are kind of like that.
yeah.
Spaghetti.
I could eat tacos every day.
Spaghetti, not spaghetti.
Yeah.
You couldn't eat spaghetti every day?
No.
No, I
I
gotta
eat
spruce it
spaghetti
up a little
every day.
bit. You know, maybe throw in a little chicken, so now it's like a chicken parm.
Need throwing
Throw in some meatballs.
Throw in some shaky cheese.
Yeah, I don't do the shaky cheese.
That's all you need.
I'm not a fan of the shaky cheese.
He's so fancy, isn't he, Rachel? He's so fanciful.
You
He's
don't
got
like the powdered Parmesan cheese?
I mean, it's not bad. It's not off-putting, but I'd rather have the grated kind. Like either right off, like the little wedge that you do. Like that's what we do now. But I'm okay with the bags that are pre-shredded. That's cool too.
who has the time grating cheese?
The 30 seconds it takes to go.
My goodness,
How much cheese are you using?
a lot.
Okay. I don't remember when I became this way because as a kid, we were the shaky cheese family, and we were we were just the basics. And I don't know what made me go this direction where I'm now.
Probably going to France.
I'm a cheese snob. Like I'm not touching, the regular old like American cheese singles that you buy in the packages. I'm buying like deli cheese as opposed to the prepackaged ones, unless I'm getting a burger at a fast food place, in which case that other cheese is perfectly fine. So I'm not really. I don't know what I'm a cookie snob. I'm an ice cream snob. Like it's got to be, like there are some brands, I'm not going to name anybody, that used to be ice cream that aren't anymore.
Please
now
do
it's
call them
a
out.
dairy. It's an ice cream like product,
A dairy dessert or whatever they call it.
Yeah,
I would like you to call them out as well. I am interested in
There was one.
hearing your thoughts.
So have you guys heard that the drumsticks that you can get? This is not real ice cream. This is more of like a dairy treat type of situation. You know what I'm talking about?
I do, mainly because they have that very strange wording on the box where it's like a dairy frozen dessert or whatever instead of like an ice cream bar.
Last summer, I did a grocery delivery, and I eat those drumsticks. Like, you want to talk about eating something every single day? I always have a box of drumsticks in my freezer. Those are like one of just a solid after dinner treat. Had my groceries delivered. I was taking a nap and like forgot about the groceries.
Yeah.
But that was like the only thing that was quote unquote perishable. So I was fine, but it was out there for like over an hour. So I'm like, man, they're ruined. But I put them in the freezer anyway. Perfectly fine.
They
Didn't
didn't
even
melt.
melt in the summer sun,
Bounce
which is
back.
like kind of cool, but also very troubling.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
The brand I was referring to is Breyers.
Breyers ice cream.
Some of the ones they sell are actually ice cream, but you have to look at each box because some of them will just say frozen dairy dessert. And sorry, I'm a snob, not doing it. It's got to say damn ice cream on the thing.
I like the Tillamook ice cream.
Oh, that's so good.
It's so good, and it'll go on sale from time to time at Schnucks, and I stock the heck.
That's a
up
good
on that
one.
stuff.
I'll be getting those
Bluebell's
big.
a good one.
I'll be getting those big Prairie Farms tubs.
Those are
They're
good.
like see-through tubs.
Those are good too, man.
Get out of here.
But I don't know exactly what time or date, like what age I was when the transition happened from just give me the old stuff I had when I was a kid to like, nope, I am too good for that now. I don't know when that happened or how it slowly evolved, but
I think it's a sign
it
of
has
success.
happened.
It's a sign of success, and I mean that as a compliment. It's a sign of success when you start going like, you know what? I'm going to get the nice ice cream today instead of the old cheap garbage that I always used to have.
But it's not necessarily a price difference.
Yeah, but it's like a symbolic difference, right? Because you tell yourself, I deserve this nice ice cream.
Oh,
I deserve the better brand of ice cream over the inferior slop that I used to eat.
yeah. I don't know if I feel that way about it. I don't feel emotional about it. It's just more I like this better.
Oh,
Like I like the real thing better. Like that's the same thing with
I might
cookies.
perhaps have too much of an emotional attachment to food, and it's true. That is correct.
Like there's nothing wrong with an Oreo or a Chips Ahoy or a Nutter Butter. Like I ate those my whole life, and I'm sure if there was a box sitting here, I would eat them.
I love an Oreo,
But I will never buy them again.
You should
Because
revisit the Oreo.
I will buy the bakery cookies because they're better.
Revisit the Oreo. The Oreo is good stuff. It's a classic.
Not what I can go get like the monster cookie that's got everything in it, or like a good peanut butter cookie with chocolate chips or something. Come on.
Kevin's classy.
I'm
He's classy. He's so fancy.
I'm a junk food snob because we're
He
not
lives
even
in-
talking about the good
He
stuff.
lives in Uncle Phil's
I'm
house.
not like, I will only eat special grown beef from a certain. It's not even the good stuff. It's just the trash food that I want the good version of.
So I have said over the years that with Dr. Maupin and BioBalance Health, that when I'm at the end of my pellet schedule, that I don't feel it all that much. Well, I have an addendum. I am at the end of my pellet schedule. I was supposed to have them replaced, I think on July 8th, but I hadn't gotten my blood drawn yet because that's typically how I am. And so it's put off until August 19th. And I maybe try to get a testosterone shot in there because I'm not feeling great. Now, it doesn't mean I'm feeling bad. It just means that I'm feeling 60 because that's what I am without the testosterone pellets. With the pellets, 45, 50, as far as just sexual feelings and, in the gym and how tired are you? And like Wheels always talks about the heavy legs and things like that. I don't feel like it's cheating. They're bioidentical hormone replacement. There's no risk to them. Right next door is BioBalance Skin, where you can get things like Botox and chemical peels and filler and such. For all things Dr. Maupin, go to biobalancehealth.com.
Attention, small business owners. Do you need funding for your business? At lendseek.com, we provide revenue-based working capital programs from $20,000 to $1 million. So whether it's funding for inventory, equipment, expansion, payroll, or other needs, seek no more. All it takes is just one simple application to access over 100 funding products that are powered through our breakthrough AI-enabled lending platform to get you the best options in today's marketplace. If you've been in business for at least 1 year, with monthly revenue of at least $50,000, you could receive the business funding you need when it matters most, regardless of your personal credit score. Funds in your account in just 24 hours with no collateral, no prepayment penalties, and no restrictions on how you use the funds. There's no obligation and zero out-of-pocket costs. So apply for the business funding you need today at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Hello, St. Louis. This is Joe Hart, one of the 6 certified arborists with Timberline Professional Tree Care. It's summer in St. Louis, and the extreme heat and prolonged dry conditions can lead to big problems with your trees. Trees depend on soil moisture to remain healthy, and drought stress over time can weaken a tree's natural defenses against insects and fatal disease. Promoting general health of your trees with a wide area of mulch over the root system, periodic deep watering, and growth regulator treatment is a great way to ensure your trees stay healthy for years to come. It's also time of the year to resume maintenance pruning on oak trees. At Timberline, we have the knowledge, experience, and equipment to handle any of your tree care needs, including prevention of fatal diseases, pruning, removal, and lightning protection. Read our online reviews. They're all 5-star, and we will not rest until you are satisfied. Call Timberline Professional Tree Care today at 636-479-7475 or visit our website at stltreecare.com.
This is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test. This has been a test of the emergency alert system. This was only a test.
Selling your home? Every situation is unique. Find the best options that are right for you from the real estate team who offer more options. My friends Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. Check out the only agents I trust. Go to thegelmanteam.com. That's thegelmanteam.com.
We all have someone we love, like the favorite lyric in our favorite song. You can't imagine life without them. So tell them today, I love you. Get screened. It could help save their life. Visit cancer.org/getscreened to learn more.
Total Information AM, weekdays 5 to 9 on the voice of St. Louis, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
All right, Monday on DGS. Dave on vacation, back next Monday. Rachel, Kevin, Andrew hanging out. We got Bernie Miklasz later on, Dave Murray a little bit later on as well. I didn't really mean this to be a new feature, but I'm going to pretend that it is. How about critter news?
Ooh,
got some critter news?
Yes.
I want to put you guys in these situations that involve critters and see how it goes.
I would like to be in any situation with a critter. Yeah.
You may not when I describe what they are.
Yeah, I was going to say, first, can we define critter? Because some people might think of all animals.
Crawly things.
Okay.
Anything
like
anything that is like four-leggy. It can be puppies. It can be
I like puppies.
Raccoons.
I like raccoons.
It could be a small alligator in your pool.
Okay.
Wouldn't mind it.
If you're living in Florida and you go out to your backyard and you see, looks like he's about a 2-foot alligator. He's about 2 feet long. He's not big. He's a baby. He's a youngin'. But obviously the young ones bite still.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I am perhaps foolishly 100% confident that I could take a 2-foot alligator.
Sure you could. But without damage?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Well, what's your approach?
So what
headlock.
So
get behind him, grab him by the head. You
want the alligator's face that close to your face.
Because the teeth only go one direction, brother.
Buddy, they wiggle and they thrash. And
I can wiggle with the best of them.
I'm not questioning your bravery, but
headlock.
The technique might be a little bit off.
Headlock on the gator. And I got him then. It's done.
Dude, this guy.
He's under my control.
Well, I'd love to see it. If you have a baby alligator.
Don't do what Andrew said, because Andrew's going to get bit. Andrew doing it the way he just described is totally getting bit.
I'll get bit by a baby. I'm
you're
not worried.
It's the size of like a 40-pound dog. Would you let a 40-pound dog bite you? And by the way, with a lot more teeth and a lot stronger bite, like you cannot make this guy unbite you. Without like a crowbar.
You're also forgetting the power of experience, right? A 40-pound dog is going to be a grown-up dog. That's going to be a dog that's seen some stuff. It's been around the block. Its brain is fully formed. This baby gator, I'm not scared of that.
I mean, when I say baby, I mean he probably weighs 30, 40 pounds.
Do you know how much I weigh? I weigh a lot more than 40 pounds, man.
I believe you would survive the encounter, Andrew, but the way you're doing it, you might lose a cheek.
What are you doing? How are you fighting the alligator?
First of all, you don't necessarily have to wrangle the alligator yourself.
Well, yeah, that was not going to be what I was going to do.
Yeah.
If I see a baby alligator in my pool, I'm just going to call animal control.
There you go. See?
And wait. I'm not going to be like, let me personally escort you out, sir. No. Like, I'm going to let the pros handle this one.
Yeah. Now, the reason I asked was there was a video from Florida where a deputy in St. Johns County was called. Like they called 911. I guess I don't know. I didn't know they did animal emergencies, but the deputy went in and grabbed the alligator by the neck and got him out. And clearly,
that's kind of what Andrew was saying.
Yeah, but I mean, like he did it with his hand, so you could hold the head down and then like close the mouth, and then you pick it up. Because once you close the mouth, they can't get open. Like their strength is biting down, not opening up. So there's a technique. But the point is, this guy did this like it was nothing, and it was pretty impressive. And I felt like the way I would do it would be more to try to trap it as opposed to grab it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, one more bit of quick critter news as we go. How you guys reacting if you look across your yard from your door? Let's talk about like 50 feet away. And there's a spider in your backyard that you can see from 50 feet away. It's so big.
Probably move out.
Yeah, I'm not headlocking no spider.
Probably just like reconsider a lot of things at that point. Not sure. Change, like renounce my American citizenship to another country. I don't know.
To Iceland. Spiders are too big.
Wake up informed. Wake up empowered. Wake up to Total Information AM, your morning must.
Hi, this is Debbie Monterey. I'm Megan Lynch.
This is Tom Ackerman. From local news to breaking headlines to weather, traffic, and the stories that matter most, we've got you covered before your first sip of coffee. Expert analysis, bright perspectives from the people you trust. Total Information AM. Your day starts here. Mornings beginning at 5 on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Fairwinds River's Edge is more than a place to live, it's a place to belong. Come see why we have been voted Best Independent Senior Living Community for 4 years in a row by U.S. News & World Report. We think you'll like it here, and the experts agree. Come see us for yourself. Call to schedule a tour and complimentary lunch, or to learn more about our upcoming charity golf tournament benefiting the VFW National Home. Find us online at fairwindsriversedge.com.
If you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or personal loans, help is here. As Americans continue to pile up astounding credit card debt levels with high interest rates to make ends meet, debt relief is being made available through National Debt Relief that could reduce a significant portion of what you owe if you qualify. For many, continuing to struggle making minimum monthly payments could take 25 or more years to pay off. National Debt Relief has already helped over 550,000 Americans reduce their debt by negotiating directly with their creditors. When you call, you'll be amazed at how much you can save and how quickly you can become debt-free. If you want off the debt treadmill, call National Debt Relief today. You don't need to declare bankruptcy, and you may qualify for significant debt relief. Call the Relief Hotline now to check what savings you may qualify for. Dial 800-476-3131. 800-476-3131. That's 800-476-3131.
It's time for Dave Murray's Forecasts, which is sponsored by Saks Financial.
No weather complaints this afternoon, but this week we will start to warm up once again. A mix of clouds and sunshine. Excellent temperatures for this point in August. 83 for the high. Delightful this evening. Partly cloudy, dropping back into the upper 70s. 67 for the low. On Tuesday, partly sunny, nice morning, but a little warmer in the afternoon. 86 degrees, 69 Tuesday night. Wednesday, partly sunny, up to 88, more humid. 90 to 91 for the high on Thursday, 93 on Friday. And, of course, that humidity will be coming back. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Hey, it's Jeff Sachs at Sachs Financial, retiresafestl.com. Have you ever wondered what it's like to work with a financial advisor? Are you in your 50s or early 60s and really haven't talked to anybody about how you retire? Give me a call today. Check out our website, retiresafestl.com.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Vira Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, registered investment advisors. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
SmartMouth is really the finishing touch when it comes to my morning routine, shower, makeup, hair, brush your teeth. Then you finish with some SmartMouth. When you do that, you kind of have the peace of mind all day knowing at least I don't have bad breath. SmartMouth just went in and eliminated my bad breath at the source for the next 12 hours. So if I use it once in the morning and once at night, that's 24 hours of bad breath protection. And something that's really cool is SmartMouth just redesigned their bottle. So it's a dual chamber bottle. You have 2 different liquids that are kept separate until the last minute when they combine in your cup. And then you use that, and that's what gets rid of your bad breath. They've put caps on each of these individual chambers now. Just makes it a lot easier to pour the liquid out, get exactly the amount that you need. So if you've used SmartMouth in the past and you weren't crazy about the bottle, they have totally fixed this issue. It's so easy to use, and just pick up a bottle for yourself. Do yourself a favor. You are going to realize just how fresh your breath can be when you use SmartMouth. To learn more, go to their website, smartmouth.com/Glover. Check out all of their different products. And while you're there, you can get a coupon for $2.50 off your next purchase too. That's smartmouth.com/Glover.
Your garage door is always there for you, rain or shine. Are you taking your garage door for granted? Is it screeching and whining for attention? Trust Overhead Door Company of St. Louis to keep your garage door reliable. Maybe the old weather stripping needs replaced to keep out the cold and hot air. Call Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Trusted here since 1926. For same-day service, call 314-781-5200 and schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Summer is here. Time to enjoy baseball, barbecues, and the shade of your trees. When it comes to tree care, call the certified arborist at Gamma Tree Experts. Hi, I'm Tim Gamma. Protect your valuable trees from storm damage or devastating insects such as the emerald ash borer. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. For pruning, spraying, fertilization, or removals, call Gamma Tree experts today at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
Cards manager Ollie Marmol joins the Gas House Gang every Tuesday at noon. Sponsored by Siteman Cancer Center on the voice of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Right, you're back in on KMOX, Dave Glover's show on a Monday. Dave on vacation, back next Monday. Rachel, Andrew, Kevin hanging out with you. Bernie Miklas will join us later. Dave Murray will join us later. We'll keep you busy and goofing around over the next, I don't know, what is it now, 3.5 hours or so. And then Redbird Rush Hour will follow that, and that'll be me and Matt Pauley and Bernie as well. So we'll have some Cardinals talk in that hour. Of course, we'll have some more with Bernie at 2:30 when he joins us in his regular Monday spot. So I wanted to bring this up, Rach. You had a thing on the rundown about the Gen Z stare that I think was funny and kind of related to what we talked about on Friday when we were going through behaviors, right? And I think we concluded that we Gen Xers need to be less mean. Was that right? We agreed on?
Yes.
Or we kind of pseudo agreed on it, right? Like we could stand to be less mean. You millennials just have to get your stuff together.
Yeah. Just pretty much every topic.
The boomers need to stop complaining about what young people don't know how to use, like a map when you can't use a touchscreen.
Yeah.
Like if you get mad that people can't use things, you should not be given credit for not knowing how to use things because you choose not to learn them. And then we also agreed that the Gen Z folks, Gen Alpha's off the hook. They're all kids. We're leaving them alone for now. But that Gen Z needs to like understand that when somebody speaks to you, you should return words to them. You should use your voice and say words back to those people, because sometimes you get that stare that we talked about where they're just looking at you like.
This is my crankiest opinion.
Yeah, you got a real big opinion on this.
I got a real big opinion on this.
Maybe it'll change after what Rachel has, though.
Crank opinion,
because Rachel said this might change how we see it.
Well, I had just not heard it explained this way, and it makes more sense to me. So, you hear about the Gen Z stare, and the Gen Z kids in general have been striking back on social media and saying like, well, it's because you're asking us dumb questions. So we're looking at you like you're stupid. And, other people are like, well, we just kind of walk in and you don't say anything to us. One of the reasons given for the Gen Z stare is the idea that the social contract is in fact broken. So why would I be fake if I don't actually want you coming into my store and patronizing the bid? Like, they're basically just cutting to the chase and being like, yeah, I don't want to talk to you and I don't want to be around you. So I'm not going to be fake and pretend like this is something I want to be doing. And I'm not saying that's the right way to be, but I respect the honesty there. Because at least you're saying like, yeah, I just don't really have the energy to fake it anymore, so I won't be faking it.
Because, you've lived so much.
Well, okay.
Yeah, you're so ground down by the horrors of the world.
None of us have worked in a restaurant or in
sucks,
retail since COVID.
Yeah, I can see where they're coming from, at least with the logic.
Yeah, I think it's probably just a completely different ballgame than it was even 5 years ago. And, no one has any support staff. It's probably you just don't have the support that you had in the past. And even, back in 2009 or whatever, when I was doing customer service, I still felt like not supported then. So to realize that even less support is being taken away, I just kind of get it. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but I do respect the honesty of just like, I just don't have the energy to pretend anymore. So I won't be doing that.
I will say it does seem like in those industries a bit of a mess right now.
Oh, yeah.
More so than ever before.
Yeah.
I mean, every fast food place, it seems like you walk in and they just like, They don't want you there. Many of them like don't have like air conditioning at the moment, it seems like, and they're just like running huge fans that take up half the place. And my wife keeps saying like, what is going on? And I'm like, the recession, it's the economy. Like the air conditioner goes out, they don't have any money, or the store or the company won't give them any money to get like the air conditioning fixed. So then they just have to figure out how to work with no air conditioning or whatever. Like it's not a great state. Seems like for a lot of these industries at the moment.
I agree with all of that. But part of the lesson is that if you don't do things, you won't get things. You will not get respect, and you will not get better treatment if you don't learn to play the game on other people's terms sometimes. You can't just expect the world to bend to your feelings.
I think they would maybe counter and say, okay, Boomer, I'm not bending to your feelings when you walk into my dang Dunkin' Donuts. Like, I just don't care enough to say hi to you.
Then quit, because if I'm nice to you and you give me nothing, that ain't cool.
Yeah, that is true. I where I won't defend it is when you're like, hi, how are you today? And you get nothing in return. That has happened to me so many times. And it's truly hurtful. It's like, oh, okay. Like you don't have to pretend to be my best friend or anything, but just being kind in return to someone else's kindness is kind of just like
I am also
something we used to agree on.
You're not exempt from common courtesy just because you're over whatever your 28 years have taught you or whatever.
That's kind of the thing where I tend to land on is like, I understand that you are in a bad situation. I am sympathetic to your bad situation. But also like, I'm not the one who put you there. Like, you want to get mad at your boss. That's fine. You want to get mad at your company that you work for. That's fine. Don't take it out on me. I'm just trying to get some chicken or whatever.
I mean, the idea though that, and look, I completely agree with the way you described, Rach. Like the service industry is worse because the companies running them are worse. And by the way, customers are worse.
Oh, yes.
We customers, as a general rule, are nastier, meaner to employees, less patient for any mistakes or even non-mistakes. I saw a video of this Karen going nuts in a store because she's mad that she called the wrong restaurant with an order and the other restaurant doesn't have it. Like, no, you called the wrong place. And she's yelling at the employees and like, you screwed up. No, believe me, I get all of that. But the people in that age group are not the first generation to struggle in that time of their lives. I struggled in that time of my life. I didn't make enough money. I had jobs I didn't always love. I had, in some cases, pretty miserable jobs, waiting tables being one of them. You're not the first. And it's okay to be pissed off about it. And it's okay to hate dealing with that. But the solution isn't to make your own situation worse by pouting.
Why do you think Gen Z seems to, I'm not saying this is a fact, but seems to have so much solidarity on this issue?
They're connected. At that same age, I wasn't connected. I wasn't on TikTok seeing other people doing the same thing, or the ability for this kind of mentality to take a larger hold than just individual people, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like people that are millennials definitely have people that were the same way. We did too as Gen Xers, and I'm sure boomers did too. There were people that were just done with it. But a generation can't be done with it when you're 25. I mean, for God's sake, man. Like I agree with all of the explanation. I agree with the perspective of this all sucks and it should be better. Right? Like the jobs we have aren't good enough. They don't pay enough. We deal with nonsense. I think that's all correct. But you got to be problem and solution oriented, right? What's the problem? Then what's the solution?
Mm-hmm.
The solution isn't just basically blocking everyone out and acting like they don't exist, because that will not make your situation better. It's going to keep it the same way that it is, if not worsen it. Right? How do you advance in anything if you're not going to be good at anything? And how are you good at anything when you're not trying?
Hard to argue with those points.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't say this in an angry way towards anyone in Gen Z that believes those things. I'm saying this as almost as a coach.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want? And then chart a path how to get there. Because just being isolated and silent isn't going to get you there. I mean, we talk about the the life work balance, right? And younger generations, I think, to their credit, are just not as willing to say, I will put aside my whole life and do the grind for minimum. Like I can respect that. But if you want to get to a certain place, you have to have a plan to get there. And how do you get there? Typically, the how is being really good at something, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're just middling at things, you are not going to go up.
But do you think that a lot of kids feel like, well, even if I am good at something, I'm not going to get a reward for that. So why would I try?
That's fair in a lot of ways, because there are plenty of people. I forget who did the study, but it was a government agency that did the study that said basically that people are changing jobs so much because they don't get promoted.
Mhm.
And the only way to improve your stock is to go from one place to another all the time, which leaves companies unhappy because they don't have consistency, and employees don't always want to change jobs. But if you're not going to get promoted, if there's no path to growth, I mean, that's a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, then you basically are, all right, well, then this is my life forever. And then you're going to be unhappy because you're not going to. And again, if you're a person that doesn't value what other people value, if you don't care about having a big house, if you don't care about having nice cars and going on big vacation, if that's stuff that just doesn't matter to you, that's cool. I totally get that. Like if you're all about simplicity and I don't need any of that, that's great. But then be all about that because the growth comes with any growth in any business, in any talent. If you're a musician and you want to be a great musician, you're not going to make a living as a musician by expecting other people to adapt to you. No matter what that is that you're trying to do, you got to be good at it. And people also have to notice you and like you. Otherwise, you'll be where you are.
Hey, it's Debbie Monterey, and between now and the end of the summer, chances are that you or someone you know is in the market to buy or sell a home. And like me, you probably know a few realtors. Well, yeah, I know several as well, but when someone I know needs to sell their home, I always recommend Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. I've been telling you about Gloria for years now, and here's why you should call, because no matter what the market does, Gloria Liu will guarantee upfront and in writing to sell your home at 100% of market value, or Gloria will pay you the difference.
St. Louis home sellers, if you're looking for certainty and the most money guaranteed for the sale of your home, call me, Gloria Liu. My name is My Promise, Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Call me directly at 314-325-6888 or visit me online at gloriahasthebuyers.com. That's gloriahasthebuyers.com.
Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
The KMOX City SC Soccer Showcase, presented by Michelob Ultra. It's the Hot Shot Sports Bar and Grill on Lindbergh, Thursday, August 7th. A limited number of fans can get an autograph or a picture with City SC defensive midfielder Jake Gerwood-Wright. Register to win great prizes. Enjoy great food and a cold drink. Hot Shots on Lindbergh, the place to be, Thursday, August 7th from 6 till 8 p.m. for the City SC Soccer Showcase, presented by Michelob Ultra. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
Don't miss Mosby Building Arts Home Improvement Show, Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KMOX. One of the last call-in shows where you can get live answers to your remodeling, design, and construction questions. Tune in Saturdays at 11 a.m.
When my business was taking off, our old phone system just wasn't cutting it. We needed fewer missed calls, more flexibility, and better visibility into customer conversations. That's when I found OpenPhone.
OpenPhone is the all-in-one system for small businesses and growing teams. Manage multiple numbers from one device, work seamlessly as a team with shared numbers, and stay organized with AI-powered call transcripts, summaries, and next steps, so nothing gets missed and your team responds faster. OpenPhone integrates with tools you already use, like Slack, HubSpot, and Zapier, so everything's connected and efficient.
Having tried just about every relevant small business phone system, OpenPhone is truly in a league of its own. It's now essential to how we run our business, and I couldn't be happier with the value it brings.
See why over 60,000 businesses trust OpenPhone. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/try and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/try. openphone.com/TRY.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit LanceDRURYLaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
All right, TGS on KMOX on a Monday. Dave on vacation, back next Monday. Rachel, Andrew, Kevin hanging out with you here. Also weird referring to yourself as in the third person, but hey, whatever.
It is I, Kevin.
It is me. It is I. We do. This is, I think it's loosely related to what we just talked about with Gen Z, but like generations and how our perspectives change with what's new and normal and what's not, right? So I want to run this by you. I saw a line, I believe I saw it on Twitter from an account I follow called the Pessimist Archive, which is fun because they look at historical things and things that people were scared about in the past turned out to be pretty harmless, that kind of thing. But they put a sentence out that I thought was interesting, and I just want to run it by you guys. It said, the good old days were once a brave new world. So what seemed like the good old days to us at that time was the brave new world. And we think of it as, boy, wouldn't it be great to go back to that? But the people living in that time, this was the frontier. Mm-hmm. And when you think about it from, like, if you use the analogy of our nation, at one time, St. Louis was the frontier. It was the furthest west that people lived.
Yeah.
It was at one time in even relatively modern history, it was the furthest city west in Major League Baseball. Like, that's in the last 100 years. And I find that to be an interesting view. So when I was thinking, because we always think about how, again, new is always scary to a degree because it's unknown. Unknown is always going to have both positive and negative possibilities. And we look back, but those people at that time felt the same way. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was a really interesting way to kind of look at whether it's generational conversations, historical conversations, or I wish things used to be a certain way. Things were just as uncertain 100 years ago as they are now to the people living in that time. Does that make sense the way that is?
Yeah.
I find that to be fascinating.
So you just reminded me while you were talking, I started doing something this weekend.
What's that?
I started rewatching John Adams on HBO because I was like looking for something to watch, and I remembered you were watching it. And I was like, I haven't seen it in a while. So I watched like the first and second episode, and I got to thinking about very similar topics to what we're discussing now. Like, for instance, the whole American Revolution thing. When we're taught about it in school, it's like, yes, it was the perfectly just and right thing to do. And everyone was doing the right. And it's like, I don't know. How would you have felt at that point in time?
A lot of people were loyal to the crown.
Yes. And it's not because it's like they were evil or they like didn't know any better. It's probably because they just felt more secure in the state that they had always lived in.
Yes.
And that's completely understandable. But then you had people who wanted to overthrow this government that, was was oppressing us. How much were they oppressing us? I don't know. I wasn't there. I only know what the founding fathers tell us. But it's just such an interesting time in history, and how uncertain everyone must have felt, and how these people must have doubted themselves and gone back and forth on what the right thing to do was all the time. It's just it's cool to think about.
That show is a really interesting, like, Cliff's Notes version of it, right?
Yeah.
Just from the perspective of John Adams, because it's about him. But it was, I think that does kind of raise an interesting point, because, like, for example, New York didn't want to go through with the Declaration of Independence.
Mm-hmm.
Pennsylvania didn't want to. It took a lot of convincing, because they felt like they had a lot to lose,
Mm-hmm.
whether it was commerce or safety, because they knew those kinds of things would lead to a battle, and they didn't want to go there. But obviously there was enough motivation to end up getting everybody to agree after wrangling and talking and meeting and arguing and debating and going through all of that stuff. But they were not all just simply aligned.
Mm-hmm.
You had 13 different colonies at the time, with 13 different economies, 13 different social structures, and some were more reliant on Great Britain than others for various commercial things. So that it's never as simple as it seems in history. And again, to us, we look back on it now and we think, man, what a glorious time. And then you put yourself back in there. That must have been the scariest time ever.
Oh, yeah.
Because those battles were being fought in Boston, where people lived, in Philadelphia, right? They just like, oh, hey, let's go out to this open land over here. Like they were shelling Boston from the harbor.
Yeah, the first episode, like, kind of being totally about the Boston Massacre.
Yeah.
Is really interesting to, just see the perspective of, like, I don't know, were these particular British soldiers at this time really doing that bad of a thing? I don't know. And John Adams took the position of, like, I'm going to defend these folks because I feel like that
the law matters.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What a brave thing that was to do in that political climate, to, like, take the side of the enemy.
Yeah.
But he wanted to do the right thing. And it makes you wonder, like, how many of these interact. I don't know. Just when I was growing up, it was always just like, and Britain was 100% evil. And it's like, well, I don't know. Like,
I mean, they were doing bad things.
They were doing bad things, and they shouldn't have been quartering troops in people's homes. I think that was the last straw for a lot of people.
Taxing people without giving them a voice in anything is a certain
absolutely.
problem.
I'm not over here like, well, the British were really that bad. But it's fun to see the nuance that was actually happening, because sometimes we're just taught, like, this is exactly how it happens. Like, I don't know. It was probably a lot more complicated than that.
All of it was, including the settling.
Yes.
That's what we're always told. Like, they got together and had Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I don't know.
That and all the murder.
It's Trish. Your bathroom might be small, but fixing it can feel huge. Outdated fixtures, the tub that's seen better days. At Michael's Bath, they specialize in affordable bathroom remodeling that fits your budget and your lifestyle. Whether you want a walk-in shower, better storage, or a fresh modern look, they make it simple, clean, and budget-friendly. No surprises, no gimmicks, just quality workmanship you can trust. Call Michael's Bath today for your free, no-pressure estimate. 636-775-0800 or michaelsbath.com.
This Simon Cancer Center spotlight how innovative immunotherapy is showing promise against aggressive T-cell cancers. Dr. John DePercio.
Patients have come here from all over the United States and, in fact, all over the world to get evaluated and treated for this treatment. We hope that this can be continued, that we demonstrate in a clinical trial that it's safe and effective, and that ultimately it will be approved by the FDA so it's available to everyone in the world.
For more information, visit siteman.wustl.edu.
I met my wife in law school at the University of Florida. She was from upstate New York and I was from Kentucky. We met at a daily mass at St. Augustine's. She was the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen in my life. After communion, I followed her out of the church and got her phone number. The rest is history. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Little did we know that one day we would have 4 children and the largest injury firm in the world. All 4 work in the business. It's a family business. Did I ever see this coming? Hell no. We just worked very hard and treated our clients like we would want to be treated, like family. It's a full-service injury firm, auto accidents, medical malpractice, workers' compensation, Social Security, and insurance disputes. We're open 24/7, 365 days a year. Visit forthepeople.com and we can get to work on your case. No recovery, no fee. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-969-0686 and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-969-0686. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-969-0686 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-969-0686.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius. Or two have geniuses and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Mid-America's most trusted voice for news. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 2 o'clock, we have clouds, 82 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Maria Kina, and for Michael Calhoun, our top story. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says that the ICE detention facility known as Alligator Alcatraz could be the new model for other similar detention centers across the country. CBS Nicole Zanga spoke with the secretary, who says the detention center helps people decide to leave the United States.
That what encourages people to go back home voluntarily is the consequences. And so the DHS secretary referenced that when she met with the Mexican president in March, the leader told her that 500,000 to 600,000 people have come back voluntarily to Mexico. And it's a data point she asked of many of the foreign leaders that she met with during our trip, including Ecuadorian President Daniel Noboa, who shared lunch with the secretary last Thursday.
Boeing union machinists on strike after failing to approve the latest contract offer over the weekend. Nathaniel Johnson has been with the union for 37 years, including the 99-day strike back in 1996. He offers this advice for younger employees going through this work stoppage.
Hang in there, to stay union strong, to grow to know what it means to be unified, and to strive together to achieve the goals that you need to have as a union.
Union employees KMOX spoke with say the raise is not exactly the 40% pay increase that Boeing is touting, adding it takes too long to reach and is too inconsistent across levels of experience. New Illinois laws look to crack down on rogue towing companies and AI mental health care.
The governor has signed 2 bills into law. The Wellness and Oversight for Psychological Resources Act will restrict artificial intelligence bots from posing as mental health professionals and planning treatment, while another bill eliminates a loophole that allows illegal tow companies to re-register under new names. Also gives Illinois State Police the ability to impound those tow trucks and revoke their license plates if need be. Andy Dane, WBBM.
Several countries are navigating their responses to the new tariffs put into effect by the Trump administration. From the KMOX Business Desk, a new Thursday deadline is looming for many of those new levies. The president says that he expects his phone will be blowing up in the coming days with requests for last-minute deals. CBS News Market Watch correspondent Kelly O'Grady has more.
Countries like India, like China, where we have ongoing negotiations, but now there's this little wrinkle of the fact that they do business with Russia. And remember, there are going to be these secondary sanctions on any countries that are trading or buying energy from Russia. So that's going to kind of add a whole wrinkle into these trade talks.
And a check of the Dow from Stifel at this hour, it is up 515 points to 44,103. A check of traffic at this hour. No real problems out there. It looks like right now you still have that ongoing construction road work, though, that for eastbound 270 drivers at West Florissant, be careful. That right shoulder is closed. And then it looks like the moving road work eastbound 70 at Route K has now moved on. Weather is sponsored by the Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning and any electrical appliance.
No weather complaints this afternoon, but this week we will start to warm up once again. A mix of clouds and sunshine. Excellent temperatures for this point in August. 83 for the high. Delightful this evening. Partly cloudy, dropping back into the upper 70s. 67 for the low. On Tuesday, partly sunny, nice morning, but a little warmer in the afternoon. 86 degrees, 69 Tuesday night. Wednesday, partly sunny up to 88, more humid, 90 to 91 for the high on Thursday, 93 on Friday. And of course, that humidity will be coming back. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
You can feel the humidity with the cloud cover keeping the temps down. 84 degrees right now in St. Peter's, 82 in Florissant, and downtown at the Arch, it's 82. Our weather sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning and Electrical. I'm Maria Akina, KMOX News.
In the 70s, baseball player Jerry Kelly decided to do something different.
Thanks for calling Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
This year, the company Jerry started decided we'd do something different.
Thanks for calling Jerry Kelly Heating, Air, and Electrical.
And electrical.
JerryKelly.com. The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Oh, it's Monday on the Dave Glover Show. Dave on vacation, back next Monday. Rachel Zimmerman, Andrew Stolz, Kevin Wheeler hanging out with you. Again, we're talking in the third person, but I do it all. I've been doing this for like 30 years. I don't know why it still feels weird when you do it. Like when you introduce yourself.
Andrew's not talking to the third person. Only Kevin's talking to the third person. Andrew would never do that.
We got a normal Monday. Dave Murray's going to join us at 3:30. Bernie Miklasz joining us here at the bottom of this hour at 2:30. We'll talk all things Cardinals with Bern, and I think we'll talk baseball with Dave Murray too.
Cool.
Or weather.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know, one of those. We'll see how it goes in the next hour and a half.
I
Maybe.
have a weather story for Dave Murray.
Oh, very nice.
That weather.
An exciting,
Just
like,
it rained.
an event thing, or just like a general.
I was just kind of gonna, come up with some of my thoughts about weather.
Oh, good.
Some stuff I've been working on.
There you go. That'll be. Oh, you got new theories.
Yeah, like maybe he could start working that into his forecast.
All right.
Rachel's
I like it.
I invented a new weather.
Tease that
I
ahead.
did.
I call it Schmaine. I would like to run it by you. Maybe you could work it into the rotation. No pressure.
Who was it that the actor who's now bizarre and crazy, thinks he's invented a new math?
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard.
Oh.
Rachel's going all Terrence Howard, but with the weather. Is that how
Yeah,
it's
he
going?
went kind of nuts.
I mean,
Haven't thought about him in a while.
yeah. Well, that's because he's been busy breaking math.
Yeah, well, the only time he's been in the news in like the last decade is when he's like decides to be like, I have figured out the answer to all impossible math questions, and then people are like, oh, what is it? And he's like,
Yeah.
I can't tell you.
And he also did a thing that like 1 times 1 is 2.
That's what I'm looking at right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's not 1, it's 2. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
I mean, it's an interesting thought, and I'm happy that you're getting creative with it, but it does seem to contradict
if you,
established mathematical principles.
but also common sense. Like if you're having, it's basically you said you have one of these things. 1 times that one thing is what that is. I have 1 apple. When I have 2 times that, how many apples do I have?
Well,
I have 2 apples, but according to him, I guess that's 3. Yeah. Yeah, that's all. Anyway, that's what you're going to do to Dave Murray at 3:30
Yes.
with your weather ideas.
No, actually, it's these wildfires at the Grand Canyon are getting so bad they're creating their own weather.
Oh my God. Wow.
So I'd like to get Dave Murray's thoughts on that.
That seems not great. We'll do that at 3:30, and again, Bernie at 2:30. So that's a tease for, I was going to say Razor's weather, but now it's Razor's Edge.
All right, couple of things I want to talk about here. I know I bring up AI a lot, but you know what? It's something that's affecting all of us, and I feel like it's creeping up on us slowly. Like for the longest time, I just thought like one day, oh, okay, now it's AI world, but no, it's just going to slowly happen.
Yeah.
For instance, Delta Airlines is now using AI to set some of their prices, and people are getting concerned because they are worried that Delta is going to start like going through your private browsing history and maybe figuring out why you're taking the flight, and then they can kind of jack up the prices from there. For instance, you're probably willing to pay more for a flight if you're heading to like a funeral or something like that than you would for just like a random trip. And right now they can kind of see, oh yeah, they've been looking at flights for a while. We can charge them a little bit more because we know they want to take this flight. The concern is they're going to use your personal information and use that against you and start charging you more.
How is it legal to make you pay more for a seat than I pay at the same time? So if we book the same thing at the same time, how would it be legal for them to jack up the price on one of us?
I don't think it is legal. The problem is I also don't think there's many safeguards in place to prevent something like that from happening. Now, Delta is completely denying this and saying like, we would never use personal information to manipulate prices. But it's like, well, if you're using AI to manipulate prices in the first place, how deep would this really go?
If it's simply a supply and demand measurement, right? Because there's dynamic pricing in all kinds of industries, concert tickets, sports tickets, things like that. I get that because it's the basics of supply and demand. But if it's anything further, like again, if it can in any way learn about me and make the price about me, that's not okay.
And that's what people are deeply concerned about. That it's just going to get to a point where it's like, yeah, your AI knows everything about you. We're going to work with the AI to get the price that makes sense for you. So they say it's not happening. I have a tendency to not believe any of these corporations when they're like, we would never do that to you. Like, well, why should I believe you?
Why'd you bring it up then?
Right.
And also, again, it's not full AI yet. It's just advanced search engine, right? Intelligence isn't just finding things and presenting them to you. Intelligence it has a concept of itself.
Yeah, critical thinking.
Yeah. And from my understanding, we are not there yet with any of these things. They are just really advanced and very fast Googles. Right?
Yes.
They're algorithms that do more than previous algorithms, but my understanding is we haven't reached the actual definition of artificial intelligence, where intelligence is not just able to take in information and come up with solutions to problems, but also understand what those mean and why they are, and maybe there's a better way, and having some concept of that it exists and it has some purpose.
So I guess people are concerned because Delta is kind of expressing one thing to their investors and then another thing to the public.
Is that what this came out of, like an investor call type thing?
Yes, and then talking to senators and such. Delta is saying like, no, we are not. We would never take into account personal data. But apparently enough has been spilled in private that this is a very real concern. So it's just something to keep an eye out for, folks.
Yeah.
Okay, another AI story. This is, again, an example of what I would call creeping AI. This happened in Vogue magazine. The fashion brand Guess did a completely AI-generated print ad in the August 2025 edition of Vogue. So it's not a real person. It's an AI-generated model. Which is bothering a lot of people in the fashion industry, obviously, because you just took a couple of jobs away. You took away the job of a photographer. You took away the job of a model. And photography is supposedly like kind of the foundation of the fashion industry is like, yeah, we're going to photograph these items looking good and sell them to people. That's the whole point. But you're getting an actual photo of this actual good that you would receive. Right. And then, of course, there's the ethical concern of, well, these fashion magazines already Photoshop these models within an inch
Touch
of their
up all the
life
pictures,
and make them look, a very unattainable standard of beauty. Now we're just completely getting rid of the real person at the root of that. We don't even have to touch up a real person and mess up the beauty standards. We can just concoct a fake individual that will get you feeling all types of way about the way you look. So
yeah, not cool. Did you guys see this? Completely related to what you're bringing up, Rach? Did you guys see the story with Spin Magazine?
No.
So Spin Magazine, I'm sure most of you know, but some don't, has been one of the biggest magazines, one of the most important magazines in the music industry for generations, right? It's always been a super influential music magazine. And they have partnered with a company that produces, like, if you don't want to have a human producer, this AI will produce your music for you.
Okay.
So they have all kinds of people in the music industry really pissed off. Like, you're one of the most influential publications in the music industry, and you are partnering with something that takes the human side out of an art form. And I think that's really an interesting point, right? Art is about creativity of human beings, at least the way that it's always been understood. Is it even art? Is it even really artistic if it's not being done by humans, but it's just being done by an algorithm?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like it could be art because it's not coming from a creative place. It's just a regurgitation of everything that it's taken in previously. It's not like if you hire this AI producer, this machine is going to be able to come up with something like totally new and unheard of before. No, it's just going to be drawing on everything that it's learned from.
Yeah.
So I don't see how that could be art.
I mean, the argument on the AI side of this is, well, that's what humans do. They learn from the people that came before, and then they add their own to it. But that's the thing. They are adding their own to it. The AI doesn't have a consciousness to add to it, a world perspective, a life experience to add to the thing, right? So that's what science is. Science is taking what came before and learning from it and ideally improving on it, right? You're going to make that, you're going to improve that something is real, or you're going to say, well, maybe that wasn't right. This is more right. And we're trying to stack things on top of each other like we're building skyscrapers. And that's what happens in music. That's what happens in movie making. It's what happens in sports. So all of these things that are somewhat talent-based, creative-based parts of our world. But the AI doesn't have those things. All it has is the copies of the old stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, as you put it, a repurposed version of something else. And also maybe the technology, right? Like, how long ago was it that auto-tuning became a real big thing?
Probably 15
like
years
15,
ago.
20 years ago, yeah.
I
mean, so, then you have that part of this where if it makes it even easier for someone without ability to sound like they have ability because it's artificial.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you could take me, I can't sing. I don't sing. I can't. There's a reason I don't. It's because I can't. If you could take me singing my crappy ass version of anything and make it sound like it's real, that's bad. Like, that's not okay if you could just package something like that. Of course, you could do the same thing with a photo, right? I could take a photo of myself and we could image it so that I look like, I don't know, who would I want to look like? Thor. Make it look like Thor or the Master of Wolves.
Yeah, I was going to say you've done both of those.
I've done yeah. But I'm not trying to make a thing out of it. It's a joke. But yeah, like, why is that not art? Oh, frustrating.
Tell you guys about Triton Exteriors. So pretty simple. I represent several companies that do things to your home. Triton Exteriors is your company for anything on the outside of your home. So your roof, your siding, your gutters, your fences. We are a James Hardy and Smart Side elite company. We're in Webster Grove, so we are sort of cream of the crop, but we're not highfalutin. We don't have an attitude. If you can hear the sound of my voice, we can come out there and we can repair or replace your roof or your siding, your gutters, your fences. Tim, the owner, is a really good guy. I really took to Tim immediately. He's a fellow barbecue guy, just hit it off. He comes from a background in high-end restaurateurship, and so his answer is always yes. What's the question? It's all about customer service. The guys make fun of him because he takes his phone into the bathroom with him to make sure he never misses a client or customer call. Give him a call at 314-717-1159 or triton-stl.com. Depend on him to always be the middle bid because he is going to shoot you straight and be fair with you. 314-717-1159, triton-stl.com.
Hey there, cats and kittens. It's Brian from The Commercial Break, the mediocre comedy podcast where my best friend Chrissy and I attempt to make sense of the world. We talk about the absurd, the ridiculous, and the stuff no one asked for, like internet weirdos, pickup artists, and why everyone is obsessed with crystals and colonics. It's all got to stop. The show is free, it's frequent, and it's probably not for everyone. You can go to tcbpodcast.com, subscribe at youtube.com/The Commercial Break, or check out the show wherever you listen to podcasts. We'll see you on the next Commercial Break. And best to you.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
The success you've already had matters at University of Maryland Global Campus because we're a school for real life. An accredited state university, UMGC lets you earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and relevant life and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer affordable tuition and online and hybrid courses. Classes start August 13th. Apply now and save with no application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
When we started Neovitin back in 2009, we wanted to create a multivitamin that we would take ourselves. That's why we use quality ingredients in our Neovitin Original Formula multivitamin. With over 20 vitamins and minerals, along with our physician-formulated proprietary blend, you can be sure you are getting the highest quality daily nutritional support. Give Neovitin Original Formula multivitamin a try for yourself. Find it at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, and online at neovitin.com.
Fairwinds River's Edge is more than a place to live, it's a place to belong. Come see why we have been voted Best Independent Senior Living Community for 4 years in a row by U.S. News & World Report. We think you'll like it here, and the experts agree. Come see us for yourself. Call to schedule a tour and complimentary lunch, or to learn more about our upcoming charity golf tournament benefiting the VFW National Home. Find us online at fairwindsriversedge.com.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fire Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, registered investment advisors. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
The Chris and Amy Show. Weekdays starting at 9 on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
All right, coming up on 223, DGS on KMOX. Dave on vacation, back on Monday, and we're all carrying on. I mentioned that Bernie's joining us after the bottom of the hour news. Dave Murray at 3:30, 4 o'clock. Skip Weber's going to be in. We'll do our Sweet 16 of the best summer activities. That's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of good choices there, and a lot of room for your own tastes to jump in there, and then we can all judge each other's tastes and yell about them and argue at them. The Sweet 16 will be coming up at 4 o'clock. Andrew, you caught my attention on the rundown.
Mm-hmm.
You said I was right about something, or may have been right about something.
Oh, yeah. Hey, look, maybe we shouldn't like Oasis after all. Maybe
well,
we shouldn't.
maybe some of us didn't ever.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you had the right decision because that guy fell off the stands and died at an Oasis concert. Did you guys see that?
Wait, what? No.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This guy went to an Oasis concert and he remember how that happened to that guy at the Pirates game?
Right, he flipped over the railing.
Yeah, this happened to a guy at an Oasis concert over the weekend and he died.
So why does that make Oasis hateable, even though I already hate them?
If he didn't like Oasis, he wouldn't have been there.
Oh my God. So we should blame.
I'm not saying we should. No. I'm not saying we should blame the band. I'm just saying
Pirates because that guy fell at a Pirates game.
No, I'm not saying we should blame them. I'm just saying.
Oh, like maybe just stay away from Oasis.
Maybe just stay away from Oasis. He'd still be with us if he wasn't an Oasis fan.
God Almighty, that's a cold take. Here I thought I was going to get some credit for foresight. Maybe recognizing the weird egos of those two weird brothers.
I mean, look, they're a couple of maniacs, but this one is not on them. This one is not their fault.
Okay, good. So just be clear, nobody's blaming the band.
Yeah.
Just like, did you guys, on the blaming the band thing, it has not happened to my knowledge, but there were like whispers that CEO dude was planning on suing the band.
Yeah, he said he was going to sue Coldplay, which is very
speculating.
I believe that he brought it up to someone that he was wanting to sue the band, which is very funny because all they did was do the thing that they do at concerts where they show flashlights around.
Well, also look, when you are in a public place, you have no expectation of privacy. Period. The end. I saw a legal analyst speak about that. I can't remember which news network, but he was basically like, this is dead the minute it gets to a judge. The judge is going to be like, idiot, and throw it out because you do not ever have the expectation of privacy when you are in public. And if you think that you do, if you're going to be that person that's like, you can't film me without my permission. Yes, you can. If you're in a public place, yes, they can. You're in public. By nature, you are part of the scenery. And then the other part is on your ticket, whether it's a digital ticket or a physical ticket, it's going to say, we have the right to use your image if you are seen on a camera. It's going to say, they're going to have all that covered. Mm-hmm. Like the lawyer, these disclaimers are on every ticket of every kind for sporting events, concerts, musicals, you name it. Because they'll say, we reserve the right to use any images taken in the arena for promotional purposes or for whatever. And you agree to that when you purchase the ticket. So I hope the dummy tries. I'd love to see him try to blame somebody else for his own infidelity.
Well, I mean, it does feel like people who reach a certain position of like power and financial leverage, whatever, are just like, I should be able to get out of this with my money. I should be able to pay a lawyer to make all of this go away for me. And it's like, well, maybe he just messed up, man.
Well, he will
maybe just messed up real bad.
But it'll be a divorce lawyer. And it'll also include a lot of his assets going to another person. The person that he cheated on. That guy clearly seems to be like my age-ish, right? He's in his 50s-ish, something like that. Man, you're too old to be that stupid. When is it? I mean, I guess we've gotten to the point too, though, where nobody just wants to take the L, right? Just take the L. You dropped the ball. You did it. You failed. You screwed up. Take the L.
Well, we have the option in society, though, to never take the L.
Well, if you have money, especially. Yeah,
like we've seen so many people be like, you know what? Actually, I don't have to own up to my mistakes. I can just deny forever, and there will always be some group of people who are willing to still support me. So
I would love to encourage this man, though, to file the lawsuit. Do it. Just say, let's see how it goes, because that'd be kind of funny. Make yourself a joke again.
5, when others are running out of steam, the Redbird Rush Hour hits the gas. Kevin Wheeler, Matt Pauley, and Bernie Miklasz bring sharp analysis, fresh insight, and no recycled takes. Real baseball talk for fans who know the game. Redbird Rush Hour, weekdays at 5 on 104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of St. Louis, the unrivaled voice of baseball.
Hey guys, Glover here from my friends at Universal Windows Direct. We have all been feeling the heat. If your home isn't staying cool, your windows might be the reason why. You can blast the AC all day, but if your windows aren't doing their job, all that cool air is just literally going right out the window. That's why it's a perfect time to call Universal Windows Direct if your home feels warm and stuffy or your energy bills are climbing higher every single month. Also a great time to call. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, and there's no limit. Got 8 windows that need replacing. You only need to pay for 4. It's just that simple. And no interest for 5 whole years. That's 60 months of 0 interest financing. So don't wait for next year's heat wave or cold snap to remind you. Call 314-334-2522. You can also visit universalwindowsdirect.com to schedule your free in-home estimate today. Been with these guys for quite a while now, and they are very good people. Lots of people from the DGS have reached out to them. Many people have received bids. Many people have used them with great satisfaction. 314-334-2522, universalwindowsdirect.com.
As a member of Quiver River Electric Cooperative, you're more than just a customer. You're part of something special. Our co-op is owned by you, the community, meaning your voice matters. We exist to provide a service to you. Together with cooperatives like ours across the state and country, we're working to strengthen our grid, innovate with new technologies, and share valuable knowledge to build a stronger, more sustainable future for everyone. That's the cooperative difference. Quiver River Electric Cooperative, powering our communities together.
It's time now for Dave Murray's weather forecast, which is sponsored by Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm.
No weather complaints this afternoon, but this week we will start to warm up once again. A mix of clouds and sunshine. Excellent temperatures for this point in August. 83 for the high. Delightful this evening. Partly cloudy, dropping back into the upper 70s. 67 for the low. On Tuesday, partly sunny, nice morning, but a little warmer in the afternoon. 86 degrees, 69 Tuesday night. Wednesday, partly sunny up to 88, more humid. 90 to 91 for the high on Thursday, 93 on Friday. And, of course, that humidity will be coming back. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyers an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius or 2 half geniuses and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
We all have someone we love, like the favorite lyric in our favorite song. You can't imagine life without them. So tell them today, I love you. Get screened. It could help save their life. Visit cancer.org/getscreened to learn more.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURY, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Drury Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Today, the Cards, the Dodgers. Ameren Total Access 815. Cardinals Radio. 1041 FM KMOX.
Our segment with Bernie is sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Dicon comfort dealer.
All right, 2:34 on DGS. Dave will be back on Mondays on a Florida vacation for now. We got the picture earlier today of Dave at the beach, feet up, sunset in the background, or sunrise, but it's got to be this. It could be the sunrise. Dave's an early riser.
Yeah, it was hard to tell what was going on with that.
Either way, the sun was either going up or going down. Couldn't really totally tell. But Dave having a good time on vacation. He'll be back next Monday. The rest of us doing our thing. And that includes our conversation on Mondays and Fridays. Of course, this being Monday with our friend Bernie Miklasz. How you doing, Bern? How was your weekend?
I'm doing good. Is it fine, man? Just watching some ball, catching up on some TV and films and some books. It's all good.
What'd you watch on the movie side of things? Anything interesting?
Well, I must confess, I did have to watch Happy Gilmore too.
Okay. Review?
Fun.
Enjoyed it?
It's stupid. That's the whole point.
Yeah, it definitely is the point. You know
what
you're getting.
I always love film critics. Like, they review. I've seen a couple Happy Gilmore, the remake or whatever. No, or part two. It's like, well, did we really need this? So, is it really important to do this again? Well, if, in this day and age with a lot of stress, if people like to giggle, it is.
All right.
Right?
Good reason. Yeah.
Like what the heck's wrong with stupid fun?
Listen, if it makes you laugh, it did its job, right?
Right.
Yeah. Good time.
But no serious film review there other than sometimes I like to watch a film that just makes me laugh.
There you go.
As simple as that.
Well, if it did that, then it's worth it, right?
Yep.
Good deal. Well, unfortunately, not as entertaining out in San Diego. Although for one game, the Cardinals offense was working and they did a nice job. But boy, I didn't go further back, Bernie. You may have, but since July 1st, the offense has been just awful. And especially here lately, it's been really a struggle.
Well, I take it back to June 30th. And you might think, well, why is he nitpicking? Well, that's when it started. Like the Cardinals swept Cleveland. And then the next day, July 30th, they rolled into Pittsburgh. And that's when the whole season began to collapse. So since July 30th, the Cardinals are last in the majors in runs scored, and they rank in the bottom 4 of batting average, slugging, on base percentage, OPS, yada, yada, yada. This is right now arguably the worst offense in the majors.
And look, some
it
of
is.
There's no question. There's no question. We're seeing it. we're seeing all those shutouts. We're seeing all of those games where it's, you're just grinding it out and praying to string together a couple of hits to score a run. And I know that during some of that time, Herrera was out, right? And Newt was out, but Newt was struggling badly before he went on the injured list. Yeah. And Nolan Gorman missed some time, and he was actually going okay. So I get all of that, but boy, it's just a really hard thing to navigate, especially when you're still trying to, make sure that you're getting a good enough evaluation on all of these guys that you need to make calls on before next year.
Since June 30th, and we're talking about 28 games, right? The Cardinals have been shut out 7 times. That's 25% of their games, and they've scored 1 run or no run in 10 of their 28 games, and they've scored. Let me do this right here. They've scored no more than 3 runs in over half their games. It's just not a good offense.
Yeah,
there's just no excuses that would explain that. Where you say, "Oh, okay, it's not that bad."
No, and there are too many guys. Now, some guys are kind of coming and going, right? I think Mason Wynn's been better since the All-Star break.
Yep.
Because he got the shot and his knee's not bothering him. So, he's been a little bit better since then, which is good because he's a league average offensive player for the year, but he's an elite defender. So that's an okay balance. But that's why it's so much more important to not have 4 positions that have essentially been glove only, although that's changing now with Arenado on the injured list, because that position is now at least going to one of the players in Nolan Gorman that need to just have the at-bats to show something.
Yeah, I'm working on a column on this now, but the rest of the way, I want to see I want to see Jordan Walker play every day. I don't care how bad it gets for him.
Yeah.
This team's got absolutely nothing at stake for 2025. Ollie Marmol's going to have to manage differently. I hate to break it to him, but he's not going to the playoffs. And I'm being kind of a jerk there because he knows that. I'm just having fun. I want to see Gorman start against every right-handed pitcher and against left-handers as well.
Yeah.
This is the time to look at stuff like that. I want to see Herrera get more comfortable in left field. Signs are encouraging. I want to see JJ Weatherholt up here. I don't care when it happens. They got to get him up here. If they're going to billboard this guy all winter, is like, come see our new star. It's a new era. Blah 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 blah. Well, you got to give your fans a sneak preview. And I don't. If they don't, I don't want to see them get all caught up in these kind of silly things. Well, we have to put more guys on the 40-man. Oh, we can't put JJ on the 40-man just yet. Yeah, actually, yeah, you can, because you've got a lot of you have a lot of filler, a lot of excess parts.
Yeah.
Non-essential parts on your 40-man roster. So I don't want to hear it.
No, I think you're right. And look, they would have to do something they haven't shown a willingness to do. And that would mean you're going to have to basically bench somebody. Because he's going to have to play every day, which means, Donovan moves to the outfield, look, there are ways to do it. I'm with you. We've talked about that for Gorman. There are ways to do it. But they haven't shown a willingness to do that with, right now, 10 guys that they want to see with 9 spots. And that's not even counting Sajaci, who's clearly in a pure bench role at this point because they're not making a big effort to get him at bats at this stage. But to do it, that's going to mean Victor Scott's probably going to have to take a seat, or Lars Nootbaar, right? Because those would be the guys, you don't want to give Gorman a seat. Certainly, maybe you give Wynn some rest, but you're not going to put him on the bench. You're not doing that to Donovan or Contreras or Herrera. So it would probably have to come down to Newt and or Scott. Those would have to be the guys that would essentially become backups.
Well, and I look at another thing too. It's going to be a huge problem, and I really think if anybody ignores it, I don't know what they're afraid of. If Nolan Arenado comes back and he plays a lot, all right, you tell me how you're going to get significant playing time for adding JJ Weatherholt to the group. And then you have Arenado, Donovan, Gorman, Wynn, JJ, and Thomas Sajaci. How are you going to do that? You're not. That's the answer. So they're going to have to extricate themselves from the Arenado situation. That's another topic for another day. I did a video on that.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I want to see that.
If people want to see it at stlsportscentral.com. And this is not something that they can duck. They're going to have to take it head on.
Yeah.
He's not the same player. His offense is dead. He has slipped defensively. You say, what are you talking about, Bernie? Well, I went to every metric there is that measures defense, and he's down in every category. So he's a good defender. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But the nonstop gushing over his defense really doesn't match, basically his performance for 2025 defensively, which is good, but it's good, but not great.
Yeah, and look, if you were playing for the division lead right now and that defense was helping stabilize you and he was batting 7th, it's fine. But you're clearly on a longer-term trajectory, and the next time you are, quote-unquote, really good, he's not going to be here.
And so they got to make some tough decisions. And actually, I don't know when Arenado is going to come back. I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't come back this season. I wouldn't be shocked.
Sure.
But if he does come back, is he going to get preference in terms of playing time over Gorman at third base? That seems rather silly for a team that really claims it's trying to find out about Gorman playing third base, for the near future, 2026, 2027. They put Weatherspoon at third base down in the minors.
Yeah.
They're obviously thinking about that. So you can't play Nolan Arenado down the stretch at the expense of these two young guys. You just can't.
So let me throw this at you. We may get into this a little bit later on because we'll have some more time on the Redbird Rush Hour with you and me and Matt Pauley. We may have a little more of a longer segment to do this, but this is just more of a, I want to get your feel on it, because I was talking about this with our boss, Steve Moore, before. We just kind of shooting the bull about the Cardinals. And, Chaim Bloom, the transition is starting to happen. It's going to be his first offseason. One way I think you can create some excitement and some buzz without just throwing a big bunch of money around is to be aggressive and make changes. Kind of like AJ Preller, right?
Well, yeah.
He's an aggressive guy. Padres fans clearly are entertained. They're entertained with stars coming in, and he's getting the stars when they're not $40 million a year players, but he's trading away prospects. I think that Chaim Bloom has a really interesting opportunity if he wants to get people excited about change by making some pretty big changes on the major league roster.
Well, I think that's obvious. And among other things, forget about the excitement, but that is definitely a factor if you want to get people talking about the club again.
Right.
And by the way, the Cardinals have slipped to 19th now in average tickets sold per game. Home game, 19th. So anyway, but in addition to the excitement of making changes, I don't see how, I went all the way back to June the 8th. That's 50 some games ago. The Cardinals are like 26th in the majors in runs scored. I don't see how you run this same crew back in 2026, right?
No.
You're going to have Chaim's going to have plenty of time to make decisions on who he would like to trade. Maybe to get, if at all possible, a young starting pitcher with cost-controlled years left, things like that. No, they have got to make changes, because it not only would actually let Cardinals fans know, hey, listen, man, things are different around here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not AJ Preller, but things are going to be different around here. And number two, we can't stay with this bland offense for a third consecutive year. Something has got to change there, because we want to score and we need to score more runs.
Yeah. And there are some players that you want to move out because they're not producing or because they don't fit your current timeline, right? And then there are others you might have to trade that you don't want to get what you need.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean,
yep.
If you're looking for young starting pitching, there are only a couple guys on your roster that are going to get you that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. There's no easy decisions here. So
no.
They're going to have to step up to the plate and make tough decisions. And Chaim Bloom, I am confident saying this, and I hope I'm right. He's not going to overrate his own players. He's going to make a very pragmatic judgment. That's one thing about John Mozeliak. He overrates his own talent, and that's why he won't trade it when he has a chance, because he has a different value, a different price point on those guys than teams that want them do. He has good players, but he takes them to the trade market discussion as if they are great players, and they're not. So I think Chaim Bloom will have a lot more common sense when he begins this process, because the Cardinals have to make some changes. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely. All right, last thought on this topic, Bern. On that last thing you mentioned, I just had this question pop into my head as you were giving that explanation. Do you think that the unrealistically high demands, because we've seen other people report in baseball that other executives were saying that the Cardinals' demands were exaggerated, that they were over the top. Do you think
it's nothing new?
No, not at all. Not at all. In fact, it seems to be kind of the norm for the way things have gone for the last handful of years, at least. But do you think that is, and I don't have an answer myself, I have to think about it more, but I just thought of this when you were talking. Do you think that is more believing that the talent is more than it is, or do you think that's more the way that they calculate the value of players based on money and years of control and how they translate that?
I think it's both.
Okay, so just a combination of the two? Yeah.
Yeah. But they obsess over cost control, but they do that in a way where they're not seeing the trajectory take off with a lot of these guys. And then even when someone like Brendan Donovan does have a really good year, they tend to go gaga and, basically make him out to be better than he is, and they got to get away from that stuff. That's what got them into this mess.
Dude,
I'm serious, man.
You're dead right. I'm laughing because it's 100% accurate that you fall in love. I mean, again, using Donovan, had a great 2 months, amazing, earned an all-star spot. The last 2 months, he's been very ordinary.
Yeah, well, you're being polite. Yeah, that's a good, but I'll go with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when ordinary is the polite version, it's been pretty crappy. I mean, let's be honest. It's been below average for 2 months offensively for Donovan, and the first 2 months were elite. And seasons are made up of 6 months. I'm not trying to dump on the guy, but the point is that we got really excited for 2 months and because he was great, but then the last 2 have just balanced it out, and now he's back to where he always has been.
Well, there's at least 2 members of the St. Louis sports media that will actually tell the truth on that. So, yeah.
Well, Matt Pauley will join us with that.
Matt Pauley does too. No, I my apologies to Matt, because he has talked about this too. But I'm not sure. I really don't understand the way our town works sometimes. I mean, we're talking about facts, right? It's not like we're flying off half-cocked with an opinion.
No.
I mean, the fact is, like, since the beginning of June, Newt Barr's offense has really been below average. It's been really mediocre. It's okay to say that.
Yeah.
Okay. He's not Stan Musial. It's okay.
Yep.
It's okay to say that. But yet people want to avoid this kind of thing. I don't get it.
Well, we don't, so we'll continue that conversation a little bit later on the Redbird Rush Hour. Good to talk again, Bernie. We'll talk to you in a couple of hours. By the way, before we do anything else, tell us about Saliga.
I'd be happy to. I love Saliga Heating and Cooling. It is a Daikin comfort dealer. Been taking care of us for 16, 17 years. I've got no complaints whatsoever. Neither does my wife, Mrs. Bernie, because, you call someone and you're like, oh no, what am I in for? Is this going to be expensive? Something sounds weird. I think something's not working right. What are we? Geez, what? How much is this going to cost us? And you dread it. But I tell you what, over the time we've been calling Saliga Heating and Cooling, we've come to just shrug and say no big deal, because Saliga will take care of us. Saliga's got it. They're not going to come in our house. Saliga Heating and Cooling, which has been around since 1927, they got a reputation, a family reputation uphold. They're not going to come into our home and try to talk us into something more expensive that we don't need. They're not going to hustle us, upsell us. They don't do it. In our experience, and I say this all the time, in our experience, they have found ways to save us money. And isn't that pretty special in today's climate, that you can trust 100% a business like this? And you know how I know that, just not through our own experience, but again, Dan Saliga is the 4th owner operator of the family business, and they're close to 100 years of doing this. They've built the reputation and the credibility. They don't want to lose that. So one other thing that can save you money with Saliga Heating and Cooling is the Priority Club. It's a maintenance plan that will save you money by extending the life of your current equipment. We are members of the Priority Club for several years at least. We have saved money because of it. We also appreciate the priority scheduling. And we also appreciate with the Priority Club, the fact that we know our home's going to be safe and ready to go for all 4 seasons. So take a look at this when you go to SaligaHeatingandCooling.com. Once again, you find out everything you need to know. Just go to SaligaHeatingandCooling.com. Thank you.
Summer is here, and it's time to plan your style staycation with Bob's Discount Furniture, where you can find everyday low prices on the hottest styles. The comfiest Consumer Reports recommended mattresses, fast, friendly delivery, and flexible financing to fit your budget. Go to mybobs.com for details. So stock up and score everyday low prices, delivered on time all summer long at your nearest store or at mybobs.com.
Oh, my Bob! Bob's Discount Furniture.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Get ready, St. Louis. 2 acclaimed performers will headline a summer finale on the Muni stage Thursday, August 28th. International music icon Diana Ross and multi-Grammy Award-winning artist John Baptiste. And this is your chance to win a premium VIP experience to see the show. VIP includes a pair of box seats, a pair of VIP pre-party tickets, free drinks at the intermission bar, and a free parking pass. Register now online at KMOX.com/contest for your chance to win.
Baseball is all about stepping up to the plate when it matters most. And when you've been injured, you need a heavy hitter in your corner. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, proud sponsor of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Summer is here, and it's time to plan your style staycation with Bob's Discount Furniture, where you can find everyday low prices on the hottest styles. The comfiest Consumer Reports recommended mattresses, fast, friendly delivery, and flexible financing to fit your budget. Go to mybobs.com for details. So stock up and score everyday low prices, delivered on time all summer long at your nearest store or at mybobs.com. Bob's.com.
Oh, my Bob! Bob's Discount Furniture.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
All right, DGS on a Monday. Rachel, Andrew, Kevin hanging out with you. Dave is on vacation back next Monday. I know this is not a real deep question because we don't have time for any deep questions at this point. Do you guys get a lot on social media, but especially on TikTok, a lot of people who are giving you quote unquote health tips, like ways to be better, and find out that they're just total nonsense? And I found this out because I forget the name of the account, but there's a doctor who has a TikTok account, and he just like stitches all these ridiculous things and points out how ridiculous they are. Like this one is a woman saying, if you're just drinking water, you're not hydrating properly. And this doctor's like, no, you're literally doing what hydrating is. You're putting water in your body, and your water. Like, why do we fall for it? Because somebody sounds like they're convinced of what they're saying, rather than just like, I don't know, looking up Google, is there a better way to hydrate than drinking water? Not really. No, that's
I mean, we believe it because they're speaking with so much confidence. I mean, that's where the term con man comes from.
I know, but this is like, we should be smarter.
I also think that humans are just pretty apt to go for the quick solution.
Oh, good answer. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's right. Oh, she just told me the answer.
I felt like I was just on Family Feud. Good answer, Rachel.
Right. But it's like, hey, it's so simple. I just need to add this this hydration powder she's selling to my water.
You know what the solution was to quote hydrate better? Squeeze half a lemon into your water.
Oh, the lemon will help you, of course.
And the guy's like, well, yeah, if you like the taste, go ahead and do that, but it ain't helping you hydrate anymore. The water is the hydration, Betty. Did you see this guy? There's one of those fitness workout bros who thinks that water's bad.
Oh, my God.
That hydrating's overrated. And
I agree with him. I'm with him.
He's like, okay, idiot. You're going to get people sick, man. Stop being stupid.
Tell you guys about Michael's Flooring Outlet. Couldn't be simpler. If you or someone in your circle of friends, your crew, needs new flooring, we have everything that everyone else does, except maybe a couple of places like in Clayton and Ladue that are going to have super, super, super crazy expensive stuff. Now, if you want to go there and shop and take a picture of the SKU and bring it in, we can get that stuff in a couple of weeks and save you a lot of money. But you go to Lowe's or Home Depot or Lumber Liquidators or any of those competitions, they're going to have Mohawk, Shaw, Coronet. So do we. Same guy drops it off. We pay the same price. They mark it up. We mark it up. We just mark it up less, and we're a little smaller. So it's not like walking across Six Flags trying to find, Berber carpeting or something. When you need it installed, we're going to do it. We're going to do a great job. It just really is that simple. 3 locations, michaelsflooringoutlet.com.
Went to Schnucks yesterday to do my big grocery haul for the week. Got some stuff I had never picked up before, so I'm excited about that. I did notice when I was looking at the bakery, donuts are only 50 cents after 7 p.m. I think they're calling it like donuts after dark or something funny like that. But yeah, if you are stopping by Schnucks late at night, check out the pastries. You could get them for just 50 cents as they kind of close out for the day. Wanted to also let you guys know, just looking at my Schnucks Rewards app here, they are offering $0 delivery fees in August. So enjoy $0 delivery fees on Schnucks Delivers. And of course, you earn Schnucks Rewards points when you order Schnucks delivery. You could also do free curbside pickup. I believe that's free all the time. The Schnucks Rewards app is great because, like I said, you can earn points. They have personalized savings and tons of other digital offers and coupons. Just kind of streamlines the process and makes grocery shopping fun and easy. Go download it today. It's called the Schnucks Rewards app.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson. Paid for by Action Matters. Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out.
Attention parents of children who have used the gaming platform known as Roblox. If your child was a victim of sexual abuse or harm of any kind while using the Roblox platform, you may be entitled to compensation. Roblox is facing multiple high-profile lawsuits, including an ongoing class action, alleging it failed to protect users from foreseeable dangers that led to the grooming, exploitation, and sexual abuse of minors on the platform. Claims allege Roblox turned a blind eye to predators, unsafe games, and deceptive monetization practices that targeted children. Victims were contacted through in-game chats and coerced into private conversations on third-party apps. If you believe your child may have been a victim of grooming, sexual abuse, or harm of any kind while using the Roblox platform, you may be entitled to a cash settlement. Text our helpline now to find out if you have a viable compensation claim against Roblox. Text GONE to 32 32 32. That's GONE to 32 32 32. GONE to 32 32 32.
If something happens to you, what happens to your family? Will they struggle financially? Will they be able to afford the home you built together? With Ethos, you can get life insurance coverage in minutes. Get up to $2 million in coverage for as little as $2 a day. All online with no medical exam. Just answer a few health questions. Get your free quote at ethos.com/life. That's ethos.com/life. Rates may vary. Billed monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-311-9595. That's 800-311-9595.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 3 o'clock, partly sunny and 81 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Maria Kina. In for Michael Calhoun, our top story, tropical weather activity picking up in the Atlantic. CBS News correspondent Jim Krasula has a story.
Tropical storm Dexter is in the open Atlantic well east of the Carolinas. The National Hurricane Center says the storm won't pose any threat to the U.S. East Coast this week as it moves northeastward. It is not expected to strengthen into a hurricane before it's predicted to fall apart by next weekend.
Now, the National Hurricane Center is also watching 2 areas for possible tropical weather development, including one just off the coast of southeastern United States. A Texas-sized showdown is about to unfold in the Lone Star State. That's where the state's 51 Democratic House members are outside of Texas in an effort to delay the Republican push to redraw 5 congressional districts ahead of next year's midterm elections. CBS's Nadia Cavazos says Governor Greg Abbott and Attorney General Ken Paxton are threatening to try and remove the Democrats from office if they do not return to the Capitol. Democrat John Busey says he and his colleagues are prepared to ride this out.
The special session is only for 30 days. We're prepared to stay here to kill this special session. We're hoping to bring national attention because this is not a Texas issue. This is a national issue. And if we let Greg Abbott and Donald Trump get away with this, it will impact all Americans' lives.
In the meantime, the Missouri Legislative Black Caucus is condemning what it calls the egregious and politically motivated request by President Trump, urging the Republican supermajority in the Missouri General Assembly to redraw boundaries of Missouri's 5th congressional district. Currently, Congressman Emanuel Cleaver represents that area and has for 20 years. The caucus says Cleaver has earned respect on both sides of the aisle in Congress. The Missouri Legislative Black Caucus is calling on the Missouri General Assembly to reject demands and to protect the sanctity of the electoral process and the voice of Missouri voters. From the KMOX Business Desk, artificial intelligence is being used at car dealerships to spot safety and maintenance issues.
At Earnhardt Chevrolet, just outside Phoenix.
It's like an MRI for the vehicle.
The dealership is utilizing artificial intelligence with a high-tech scanner to catch every angle of a vehicle. Sales manager Dave Flores.
What we're looking for is any oil leaks, oil seepage, any broken shields.
The system got its start far from the automotive industry.
It actually started in Israel and made for bomb detection.
Hertz is using the technology to scan returned car rentals. Stephen Kaufman, CBS News, Prescott, Arizona.
At 3:02, it is time for an update of the St. Louis Business Index. Here's Stifel Senior Vice President for Investments, Kevin Monton. Good afternoon, Kevin.
Thanks, Maria. The markets had a nice rebound from last week's sudden sell-off, with the Dow gaining 585 to finish at 44,173. S&P was positive 91 at 6329. NASDAQ was up 369 at 21,019, and the Bloomberg St. Louis Index was positive 14 at 1566. Stocks to the upside, Energizer gained a whopping 26.6% at 2805, and Caleres was positive 5.3% at 1387. To the downside, Charter lost 1.1% at 261.75, and Bayer was negative 2.3% at 789. Finally, Stifel positive 1% at 112.27. This has been Kevin Monton, Senior Vice President of Investments at Stifel, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. For more information on Stifel, please visit our website at stifel.com.
A check of traffic right now for southbound 55 drivers just past Route A. Watch out. All lanes are closed there, and that's due to an accident. You have road work on northbound 67 past 40. The right shoulder is blocked there. And also another problem, it looks like, for eastbound 370 drivers, just before 141, the right shoulder is blocked there by a stalled vehicle. Weather is sponsored by the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company, PennMutual.com/STL. If you're considering life insurance, Penn Mutual's accelerated client experience makes applying for life insurance fast and easy. Ask for your independent advisor or go to PennMutual.com/STL. Dave Murray has the forecast.
Still dealing with some pretty nice temperatures as we go through our Monday afternoon. A mix of clouds and sunshine. Boy, for August, excellent. 83 for the high. What a weekend that was. Then on tonight, partly cloudy skies. Evening temperatures drop back into the upper 70s. 67 for the low. On Tuesday, partly sunny. A little warmer in the afternoon, but we can deal 86 degrees for the high on Tuesday. Tuesday night, clear skies, 69. Wednesday, partly sunny, 88, a little more humid. Thursday, 90 to 91 degrees. Friday, about 93 for the high. Nothing extreme, kind of typical summer. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
St. Peter's, 83 degrees. It's 81 in Florissant, and downtown at the Arch, we're at 81 degrees. I'm Maria Aquina, KMOX News.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
All right, Monday on the Dave Glover Show. Dave is out on vacation, back next Monday. Rachel Zimmerman, Andrew Stoles, Kevin Wheeler hanging out with you here. We've got Dave Murray joining us at 3:30. It's Monday, so we'll be doing our Sweet 16 with Skip Weber. Coming up at 4 o'clock, we'll be doing the Sweet 16 of the best summer activities. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Some good ones there. And the winner, I will predict the winner of this will have a great shot at unseating the defending champion for the top overall. What is it now again?
I think it's lightsaber as
lightsaber
best fictional weapon.
Yeah. I think today's we'll give that a push. We'll give that a challenge. It's just such a good thing that we're all going to be very attached to, whatever these things are. So we'll get to that starting at 4 o'clock today. All right, guys, I got a question for you.
Okay.
I'm going to ask a science question of you guys. I do not expect good answers. It's not a real quiz, but it's fascinating to me. But it also leads to a thing that we have decided to do in the movie world to spice things up for audiences. And you'll see what I mean as this goes. So what do you guys think the average distance between asteroids are in an asteroid field? So like, say, the asteroid belt in our galaxy as an example. Like, what do you think the average gap is between asteroids in, when you look at it, what looks like essentially a minefield, right? It looks like, what do you think the gap is between each one of those on average?
2 miles.
2 miles.
I was going to say more like, I really don't know, so please don't laugh at me.
No, I didn't know at all.
100 miles.
I would have said probably something similar. 600,000 miles.
Oh, I was closest.
600. So the reason this is brought up.
More than 2?
What's that?
More than 2?
So here's the thing. So I saw this on TikTok. It was the ever annoying Neil deGrasse Tyson, who is sometimes less annoying than others. But he likes to do this thing where he goes after movie tropes. And like, he was talking about how like in Star Wars, they go through these asteroid fields and they're like bumping off of things. He's like, man, there are generally 600. Now that's a fictional world. Maybe they're asteroid belts and everything. Like, maybe it's closer and all that. But this is a creation, a Hollywood creation, just for dramatic effect. But the reality is there is so much space in space that even in what looks like there are trillions of asteroids in the asteroid belt, I think. Like, if not trillions, like we could just say millions. That's how big that space is. That there are 600,000 miles between each one of them on average. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't 2 that are 5 feet, right? And then there are the other 2 that are 1,000,000 miles apart. Like, that's going on an average. It's not that they're all equally spaced. But the perspective itself is just, the physical perspective is amazing because it looks like what we would picture up close, like looking at a minefield. But then the movies want to, get you all excited, and you're going through an asteroid field and you're bouncing off of rocks and you're trying to avoid them, and it creates drama. But the reality would be, it'd be like trying not to hit another car on a highway if that car was 100 miles away from you.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that to be interesting. And then it made me think, going bigger picture, like all of these movie creations, how much we go out of our way to create imaginary things that aren't real to entertain us. Right? One of my favorite kinds of videos, I love watching, as an example, I love watching boxers, MMA fighters, like grade movie fights and be like, wow, that one was actually kind of real. And these other ones, like, oh, that'll never happen. That's ridiculous. That only happens in the, in the movies. And then I love the same thing about physics people. They'll look at like the Fast and the Furious, and you're making cars do things that cars can't do, but you're using special effects to do. So what do you guys think the reason is that we get excited when Hollywood goes over the top? Do you think it's just that, like the asteroid thing, that most people just don't know what the reality is? So you're just seeing something spectacular and you're like, wow, that's amazing.
Well, yeah, I don't see. You need to remember, Kevin, other people have something in their brains called whimsy and another thing called suspension of disbelief. Thank you so much, Rachel. A thing in their brain where even if they know that in real life, an asteroid field, which is an irrelevant information to know anyway, because that is so far away from us, so as to never affect our life in any way. When you see that, and you see Obi-Wan Kenobi whipping in and out of asteroids left and right and banging off the rocks and whatnot, you are able to go, this is so cool and exciting. My heart is pumping. My blood is racing. I am having a good time. With that sense of whimsy and suspension of disbelief, you don't have to go, that's not how it really is. Okay, well, also, there's no spaceships.
Well, no. We're blending two things. Because I did just say earlier that, okay, fine, fictional universe, it may be that way in the fictional universe. And as long as you set rules and play by the rules, I don't care. That's why I think Jedi are cool. Because you set the rules and then they have to work within the rule, not in the real world, but the movies that are set in the real world should operate by the real world.
Like what?
Like a boxing movie when a guy takes 97 punches to the face and isn't knocked out. Or a fist fight in a movie where a guy gets a crowbar to the back of the head and gets up and keeps fighting. Like that can't it doesn't happen.
What's that got to do with
what I'm saying is no. Did you missed the transition then, I guess?
I might have been confused. I'm so sorry.
Because the transition was, I understand that like in space, we're not out there, which is what makes it, you kind of had to make it up because we haven't been out there. And I'm sure when Star Wars was made, we probably didn't know that the average asteroid is 600,000 miles away from another one in an asteroid field, right?
True.
We probably didn't know that 60 years ago or whatever number of years. It's 50 years ago because they're coming up on the 50th anniversary in a couple of years. So we probably didn't know that. So you're kind of creating. And in a fantasy world, you give me Game of Thrones or you give me, I don't know, anything else where there's magic and there's Lord of the Rings. You know, that's fine. The world is that world. You've explained it. It's laid out. We understand the rules of that world. They don't need to comply with real world ones. But then we take that same dynamic in the real world to make things even more dramatic than they really are when the real drama is enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but like, I mean, kind of to go back to what you were saying previously, I just feel like when it comes to the getting hit in the face 97 times or something, most people have never like been to a boxing match or something.
That's why I'm asking that. Yeah.
Like they're living vicariously through the movie. So they're like, oh yeah, it would be like that though.
Yeah,
that's
like
true.
Most people,
this is good.
Most people aren't in like really violent fights, right? I mean, it happens, but the average person probably hasn't been in that, like you would see in a Jason Bourne movie or a Bond movie or whatever. Because what happens in those is like, man, that doesn't happen.
The average person also doesn't even really watch boxing to any.
No, I
extent.
agree.
Well, there was do you guys remember the Netflix show Jessica Jones, Marvel's Jessica
Yeah.
Jones? One of the characters in the show has a radio show and she just like leaves the show all the time.
greatest thing in any television show ever.
She'd be like, oh,
I'm
we're
obsessed.
being like attacked by a bad guy or whatever. Just, tell him I can't do it today. And then she would leave with 5 minutes to showtime. And that drove me crazy because I work in radio and it's like, that would not go down like that.
Nope, you'd be fired real quick.
But then at the same time, it's like, yeah, most people don't know. They don't care. It's just being used as a storytelling device.
Right.
It's the same thing with like Frasier. They're always going to break and like no one's wearing headphones.
Right.
It's just to
breaks
move the-
last a really long time.
Yeah, it's more about the plot than it is about like creating a realistic environment.
That's kind of what I wanted to ask you guys about is it that most people don't care because they don't have experience in that thing anyway? Or is it more that we do get more excited because it's something crazy like the crazy car chases that you'll see in Fast and Furious? Because it's so out there, is that the draw? Or is the draw like, I don't really care about that because I don't know anything about that?
Yeah, I think the draw is the out there-ness because you want to see something fantastical. If I wanted to see cars driving a normal speed, I mean, I have an hour commute home every night. I see that every day. I want to see cars going super fast, doing all kinds of flips and tricks and stuff.
I'll just drive on 70.
See, I saw someone reposted like a TikTok or something the other day, and it was like me trying to watch a superhero movie without getting stressed out at the damage to the city's infrastructure. And I was like, dude, this is me. Like, I will watch the Avengers or whatever, and they destroy whatever city they're in, and I'm just like, you're gonna have to pay for that. Like, you can't smash all those cop cars.
Yeah. I always think about
tax money.
I always think when the building gets blown up, I think about the people that like work in that building, and they're like, where do I like their job is going to be 10 times as difficult for the next year while they try and find a new place to set up an office.
There would also be people in that building.
Well, and this is assuming that it's like a Sunday and no one's at work in the office building or whatever. But that guy's watching at home, going like texting the three other people on his show, going like, where are we going to go to work? What do we do?
Yeah.
What are we supposed to do tomorrow?
That was a lot of like the Batman versus Superman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like how much crap did they destroy just fighting each other?
Yeah.
And that was which was it Age of Ultron, where you basically had a whole city lifted up out of the ground and
that was Age of Ultron.
Yeah. And I'm forgetting
they did that in like a third world country in Europe, so we didn't have to feel bad about it.
It was Eastern Europe, but a fictional country. But yeah.
Sokovia.
But it ended up being like a big scandal. They got in trouble. The Avengers were in trouble for it. That's why they kind of got disbanded and brought down. Which is an interesting thing because normally that's not in movies. Like
when I watch movies, that's what I want to see. I want to see the superheroes get in trouble I want to see them get yelled at. I want to see them get scolded. This is what I'm here for.
It's not
This
that.
is what I want.
So Brian jumped in on the stream and said, you mean how Rocky Balboa stands there with his hands open and takes 50 punches to the face, but still comes back and wins? Yeah.
Yeah, he does not block.
I'm talking about that. No, and then he uses it like, I'm just getting mad. What do you mean you're just getting mad? You're getting brain damage is what you're getting, man.
Well, as I understand, that does
CTE,
make you mad.
dog.
Janelle, our friend Janelle at Holy L, she said, but we do this making stuff up as children, so why stop it? Because it's fun. And says, good Lord, how boring would everything be if we were always logical in our fun? I don't know if I'm trying to go that far, but I mean, there are things that take me out of the reality of the fun that I'm having when it's something that's like, okay, like you're not a superhero and Thanos just smashed you against a rock and you're going to get up.
Would it bother you even more if it was like a baseball movie?
I hate sports movies.
Well, and then it's like the star player like doesn't know how to swing a bat
Yeah.
properly.
Oh, I can't stand sports. Most sports movies I can't watch because of this.
Mhm.
Because of how my brain looks at that and goes, oh, come on. He can't even throw. He can't even throw. Some of them aren't bad, though. Like the ones that are done well, I like The Natural with Robert Redford. Wasn't bad. He could actually do some things that looked okay when you edited it all together and all that. But other ones, you're just watching it, you're like Bull Durham. Bull Durham.
Never seen the film.
Come on, Tim Robbins looks like he's throwing 46 miles an hour. And they're like, that's 100. Like, dude, it's got an arc.
Yeah, I only like the realistic ones like Space Jam.
Yeah, see, great, because it's a fictional world. I love those. When you're going to face an alien race, who do you need? Michael Jordan. Not LeBron James, Michael Jordan.
In this house, we watch the Michael Jordan Space Jam only.
Grounded third, diving play by Arenado. Big jump the out. Unbelievable.
Get ready for the ultimate showdown. The New York Yankees come to Busch Stadium the weekend of August 15th through the 17th, and they're bringing the star power. See sluggers like Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton take on your Cardinals in one of the biggest series of the season. Finish off your summer in style with the Cardinals and Yankees. Great seats still available. Get yours now at Cardinals.com.
This is Nolan Arenado, St. Louis Cardinals, Fort Lulu.
Summer in St. Louis means one thing: Cardinals baseball. It's more than a game, it's an STL tradition. The crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, the boom of the fireworks. It's the soundtrack to summer for Cardinals Nation. So grab your cap and glove and take your spot in the stands, because in St. Louis, baseball is more than a melody, it's our favorite song.
I'm Kristen Press. And I'm Tobin Heath. We're World Cup winners, Olympians, and the hosts of The Recap Show. Every week, we sit down with the icons, disruptors, and game changers on the field and beyond it to talk victories, heartbreaks, and everything in between. We've built a space where athletes, change makers, and people creating the future of women's sports can show up and show off as their full, unapologetic selves. Follow and listen to The Recap Show wherever you get your podcasts.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Are you not spending enough time in your outdoor space? Do you have friends or neighbors who spend a lot of time outdoors? It's because they have an incredible setup with a nice deck or a sunroom or a screen room, a good canopy or a patio with a pergola with adjusting slats. I mean, they've just got it decked out so that you could just spend all that time in the summer or the fall or the winter. You can have that too if you call Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Chesterfield Fence and Deck is the sign you have the very best. And whether you're looking for a fence, a deck, a patio, a pergola, whatever it is, from a simple project to a complete outdoor space makeover, Chesterfield Fence and Deck has been in business for 57 years with an incredible reputation. They do great work. If you mention me, Debbie Monterey, they'll offer you 48 months interest-free financing. Just dream of what your outdoor space could be and how much time you could spend out there. If you call Chesterfield Fence and Deck, chesterfieldfence.com.
The Siteman Cancer Center spotlight how an innovative immunotherapy is showing promise against aggressive T-cell cancers. Joining us is Dr. John DiPersio.
Until very recently, until this paper and a few other groups in the world have sort of developed approaches for T-cell malignancies, there was no hope for patients who relapsed. There were no effective therapies. This is a way of treating these patients that would normally have no other recourse.
For more information, visit siteman.wustl.edu.
The Dave Glover Show, weekdays at 1 on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
All right, Monday on DGS. Dave will be back next Monday on vacation down in Florida, and we're just hanging out, doing our thing. Rachel, Andrew, Kevin hanging out. We got Dave Murray, our regular, at 3:30. Mondays with Skip Weber from Weber Chevrolet start at 4 o'clock. Our Sweet 16 is the best summer activities, so that'll be fun. It's good. And, you know, this is the good week to do it, too, because you're not like, oh, it's 107. I don't want to go outside. This is a good week to kind of think about the fun things you like to do outside, because it's do things outside kind of weather, which is great. So Skip will be joining us just after the 4 o'clock news. Dave normally has like random facts, fast facts, but that has fallen to you today, Rach.
I have some fun facts for you.
Fun facts.
Well, I don't know how fun they are. They're quite random. They're 5 random facts for Monday. Let's start with this one. Martin Luther King Jr. and Anne Frank were born in the same year, which was 1929.
Why does that seem so wrong? But yeah, wow.
And Betty White was born 7 years before them in 1922.
Oh my God. Wow. That is, I can't, I mean, it gets hard. Yes, I know the maths, but it just, the images don't, because of the time frames that we see them in, right?
Right.
We really only see Anne Frank from the World War II perspective for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see, Martin Luther King Jr. more in the 60s. And then obviously we saw Betty White up until recently. So yeah, wow. That's stunning.
Our next random fact. Okay, this is crazy to me. Tennessee has the highest tax on beer of any state. That's not the crazy part. The part is that the tax is $1.29 per gallon. I didn't know that beer was taxed by the gallon. Wyoming has the lowest tax at 2 cents per gallon.
Okay. Go to the store. I want a gallon.
Yeah, give me
Bud
a gallon
Light,
of beer,
please.
please. Greenland actually doesn't have much vegetation. It got its name from Nordic settlers who wanted to trick people into moving there.
Really?
Deception.
Pretty good.
What? So they were doing the same kind of cheesy, hokey, scammy crap that we do now.
Absolutely.
Man, I don't know if that's worse than the robocalls, but that's pretty dope. That's worse, because you're like tricking people to sail across the ocean.
Yeah. And then it's like, I spent all my money to get you.
There's nothing green here. It's all snow and ice. That sucks.
My next random fact, the Isley Brothers are the only group or artist who's had a top 50 Billboard hit in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s.
Wait a minute. New or just like an old one that came back?
I'm guessing when we get to the 90s and the 2000s.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think they were around for the 90s. I'd have to look it up, but I didn't think they were around that long.
And my final random fun fact for you guys, there's only one real person who is mentioned in the entire Harry Potter series. And this is a 9-year-old girl in Toronto named Natalie MacDonald, who is dying of leukemia. She was a huge fan, so a family friend emailed the author J.K. Rowling, who included her as a student at Hogwarts in the 4th book.
Oh, just a real name. I got you.
It wasn't like the student had the disease or anything. They just put her name in the book, which is very nice. But it is interesting that like they never referenced any other historical figure.
No, well, it's its own. I guess it's its own world, right?
I guess so. You got the wizards and the muggles and all of that.
Oh, all that and various.
And you know what? Anything goes because it's a magical world.
Bingo.
Yeah, see,
I know that's right.
You can walk through a wall there because you got magic. Totally cool. Totally cool. Just don't do that in a Rocky movie.
Yeah, good point.
If Rocky walks through a wall, and we're like, come on, guys. I quit. I'm done.
Tell you guys about my friend Mike at Michael's Baths. If you have even had a discussion with your spouse, partner about doing a new bathroom, you need to check out Michael's Baths. I don't know exactly how much they are. I don't know exactly how much Bath Fitter charges or 3-day kitchen and bath, but let's say they're charging $12. You can get it 30 to 50% off. So somewhere between 6 and 8 instead of 12. That's real money. That's really, really good. And you're not going to give up any quality on the workmanship. You're not going to give up any quality on the products themselves. Mike has been doing nothing but bathroom remodeling for the past 30 years. Doesn't do kitchens, doesn't knock out walls, give you a new bathtub, give you a new shower, give you new safety features, to beautify the whole thing, whatever it is you want to do at a deep, deep discount. He is family owned and operated. He supports about 20 other local families, all craftsmen in their own right who he has sought out and hired and trained. So if you are interested in a new bathroom, you can't do better than Michael's Baths. 636-775-0800 or just log on to michaelsbaths.com.
Tom Ackerman for Busey Bank and Building Community. We are proud to recognize Doorways as a building community partner. Doorways helps those who are invisible and ignored by society, people navigating poverty, homelessness, and serious illnesses like HIV. While HIV has become treatable, the number of cases continues to rise in the disenfranchised community. Building community means nobody should be invisible. Learn more about Doorways at doorwayshousing.org.
This is Pat Buring, Executive Vice President of Busey Bank. I'm so proud to recognize Doorways, the only agency in the region dedicated to providing housing to individuals living with HIV and their family members. Doorways sees to it that clients receive on-site services to manage their lives, opening doorways to independence and opportunity. That's what building community is all about. Join Busey. Get involved as we continue building the communities we call home.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, if you're heading down 55, heading home this afternoon, you've got some slow traffic from Gasconade to Bates, and there are stop-and-go pockets south of M all the way down through McNutt, almost to Highway A. We had a crash down there earlier. They were wrapping it up, so it's still bumper to bumper most of the way through there, unfortunately. Westbound 64, there's some slow stuff, Science Center to Clayton Skinker. It's bogged down again from just west of Lindbergh out to 270 South exit. And after that, it's just a little busy at Prospect. Doesn't look bad out west. Eastbound 70, we have road work, I believe, was going on earlier just past the Interbelt. It's backed up to Natural Bridge, and the Interbelt's bogged down back through Natural Bridge as well. There's also a slowdown north 170 approaching Page, south 170 Ladue, down through Brentwood. That's pretty busy. South 270 slow south of Page down to about Manchester. Really, it opens up before Manchester, and then you're good to go down to 55. We have that emergency repair work. Westbound 64 west of Route 4, you have delays through that Route 4 area right now. They hope to have that wrapped up by Thursday afternoon. I'm Roger Brand in the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
At 5, when others are running out of steam, the Redbird Rush Hour hits the gas. Kevin Wheeler, Matt Pauley, and Bernie Miklasz bring sharp analysis, fresh insight, and no recycled takes. Real baseball talk for fans who know the game. Redbird Rush Hour, weekdays at 5 on 104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of St. Louis, the unrivaled voice of baseball.
We all have someone we love, like the favorite lyric in our favorite song. You can't imagine life without them. So tell them today, I love you. Get screened. It could help save their life. Visit cancer.org/getscreened to learn more.
Tomorrow, some of us will wake up and it will be our last day on this earth. It will be unexpected and without warning. Each year, 250,000 people will die from medical malpractice, the third leading cause of death in America. 43,000 will die in a car or truck crash. 6,000 will die working on the job. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, and we represent many of these families. It's awful. Unfortunately, many times some of these family members are not speaking and never get to say, I'm sorry or goodbye. If you're at odds with a loved one, listen closely. Pick up the phone. Call them. Say you're sorry. I promise a huge burden will be lifted from your heart and your soul will be renewed. Even if you're not wrong in your own mind, it doesn't matter. Death is bad enough. Death without closure and love will follow you the rest of your days. Trust me on this. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
That baby's gone.
Cardinals fans, FanDuel Sports Network is your home of the Cardinals.
That ball was mashed.
And there are more ways to watch this season.
Holy cow.
Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network to stream the Cardinals without blackouts.
How about that play?
Or watch through a TV provider.
Incredible.
Including DirecTV, Spectrum, Xfinity, Fubo, and more.
He got it.
Learn more at cardinals.com/TV.
Ball game. That couldn't have worked out any better for the Cardinals.
Cards manager Ollie Marble joins the Gas House Gang every Tuesday at noon. Sponsored by Siteman Cancer Center on the voice of the Cardinals. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Cardinal Cowboy here. For over 65 years, Renner Garage Door has delivered top-notch service, sales, and installation. Get your free estimate today. RennerDoorSTL.com. Renner, forward and back.
RENNER. RENNER.
All right, 3:35 on Monday on DGS. That means it's time to talk to our friend Dave Murray. Hello, Dave. How's it going today?
Hello there.
How's the weekend?
I have weekend was great.
Good.
I have two weather facts for you.
All right, let's go.
First of all, full moon's coming up this weekend on Saturday, the 9th. It's known as the Sturgeon moon.
Oh.
Also, we lose 60 minutes of daylight during the entire month of August.
What? So is it like 2 minutes a day?
That. Yeah, just about.
Yeah, I've noticed the sun is coming up later and later every day.
Yep. No, I figured that would get up.
So it means we're on the wrong side of the spectrum now. We're going downhill.
Yeah, well, you can kind of look at it this way too, that maybe with less daylight, it won't be as hot.
Is that actually true?
No.
I'm like, damn, you almost had me. I was about to say, yay. No. But in fairness, it's pretty great. Obviously, we went back to last week, how great it was. It looks like it's staying that way.
Yeah, for a while, the weekend, fantastic. Today, fantastic. Tomorrow, it's a little bit warmer, but not by much. 86 for the high in the afternoon on Tuesday at partly sunny skies, 69 at night. I mean, we certainly can handle that in August. Wednesday, we'll start to feel it during the afternoon. It's sunny, it's warmer, it's more humid, 88, only 71 Wednesday night. Thursday, it's back in place, but nothing extreme. It's sunny, it's hot, it's humid, 91 and 93 for the high Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's nothing like the humidity surge that we had, late for the last 15 days or so.
No crazy dew points.
No. There'll be dew points, but they won't be crazy.
What's the lowest that it would typically be in St. Louis?
The lowest dew point?
I mean, is there like a norm? I mean, we know when it's high because we feel it, but
right. It would be in the wintertime. It'd be in the 40s.
All right. So even that though, that's like is that like the low point? Doesn't get below that?
Well, it depends on how cold we get.
Okay. So extreme circumstances, maybe.
Yes.
Okay. See, I don't know anything about dew points, Dave.
That's okay.
I was raised on humidity.
Yep.
And I've had to relearn since
Rock
getting
and
to know
roll and
you.
humidity.
Yeah, something along those lines. Rach, you had a weather question for Dave.
Well, I had a weather story that maybe we could talk about.
Sure.
The Grand Canyon mega fire is growing so huge that it's generating its own weather.
Mm-hmm.
Those
You can get weather tornadoes, smoke tornadoes. You can get thunderstorms, obviously, and creates more lightning. Dry lightning creates more fire.
Scary stuff.
That seems all bad.
And it is all bad. And the problem is that it's a remote area. It's kind of like the Canadian wildfires. There's not much you can do except let them burn. I mean, you can't dump stuff on them because you're not going to put them out.
Wow. So what is that? What do they do? Is that where you kind of get to the perimeters and just try to keep it from jumping over certain perimeters in certain areas?
Yeah, you'll try to protect buildings if there's anything in their way. But for the most part, it's pretty rural and pretty remote. And it just, I mean, you can drop some fire retardant in places to try to protect certain things. But there's been structures that have burned on the northern rim. It's a very intense fire. It kind of lost the guys who monitor it and throw a little bit of stuff on it. They kind of lost it about Thursday or Friday of last week. The thing exploded, and it's over 100,000 acres. Yeah, you think about 100,000 acres on fire. What are you going to do? It's the same thing in Canada. It's
call the Avengers.
If you want to.
It's like in that fantasy world, maybe. In a real world, I mean, good luck.
Yeah.
How I mean, this is probably a terrible question. How rare are those types of big fires in recent history? I'm not talking about ancient history. I'm talking about last 50, 60 years.
They're not rare.
No, okay. So they're fairly
they happen.
Somewhat regular.
One of the problems is that over the last decade or so, we have stopped cleaning forest. Taking out dead wood, managing a forest is the way to put it. We kind of stopped doing that on a large scale, and a money related thing. And so when a fire gets going, there's a lot of stuff to burn.
Seems like saving that money costs you money down the road.
Yes, absolutely. You've got it. You've got it.
All right. I'm not a dummy.
Smokey the Bear is not happy.
No, I bet. Yeah. We need a few more of those ads playing to people that are going to take care of that business. All right. I do not. That's all bad, but it's nice to know how that works and what it can lead to, because all of it seems like science fiction, to be honest. When I hear Rachel's descriptions of it and I hear the way you were talking about the tornadoes, it just seems like sci-fi, but obviously
it's wild.
It's real.
It's really, it is real, and it's wild to see.
Rach, want to do some headlines?
Yeah, Headlines is brought to you by Schnucks. Reward yourself daily with the Schnucks Rewards app. So Social Security says it will no longer send paper checks. The Trump administration is discontinuing paper checks for beneficiaries in an effort to modernize those federal benefits payments. You can either get your benefits electronically via direct deposit or a prepaid debit card.
Oh.
Yeah, there will be exceptions allowed for those who will still need a paper check under any circumstances. I can imagine there are some people who are
have to go through an application process.
Correct. People who face hardships and just aren't able to use the electronic type thing. But in general, we're getting rid of the paper checks for that.
Long-term, big picture, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I would think most people have probably switched to the direct deposit method at this point.
But a grandfathering for people that have never used the electronic means before still seems okay to me.
Mm-hmm. Andrew, I apologize. I saw you had this on the show sheet, but I'm going to steal it for headlines. A zoo in Denmark is asking people to donate their small pets as food for their captive predators.
Wow.
It's called the Aalborg Zoo, and they're seeking chickens, rabbits, and guinea pigs to be eaten whole by animals like the European lynx. They say nothing is going to go to waste. The animals will be euthanized by trained staff in advance of being fed to the predators. But they say this is necessary to imitate the animal's natural food chain for the sake of animal welfare and professional integrity. I just can't imagine being like, I'm so tired of my guinea pig. I'm just going to feed it to
can't
the
they
lynx.
do what everyone else does in this situation and just breed specifically For food purposes? Yeah, breed guinea pigs specifically to be used as food. Like, why do I have to give up my pet so the lynx can eat a guinea pig?
Yeah, I read the story because I saw that too in my first reaction when they said small pets. It in the headline it didn't specify rabbits, guinea pigs, and chickens. I'm like, people are just gonna send their dogs? Like, what's going on here? And then I read it, and then they're saying that if you know that your pet may be near the end of its time, like that kind of thing. I don't think they're asking for anybody's like 2-year-old rabbit or whatever. But
yeah, what they specified is like if you have to give it away for any reason, like if you're going to rehome it or whatever, just rehome it into the lynx's mouth.
All right, let's talk about the mayoral election in New York City. Zohran Mamdani is the Democratic nominee for mayor of New York, and he has a significant lead in the current field of candidates, attaining 50% of the vote regardless of his opponents. In fact, he's polling higher than all of the other candidates combined.
So it seems that the people who live in the city want him to be their mayor.
That's what it's seeming like.
So that is what we call representative democracy, right? Like the people who live in a certain spot get to vote for the people that get to the majority of the people get to choose who ends up being in the mayor's mansion or the governor's mansion or your state or federal representative, senator, whatever, right?
Correct.
So if more people in New York want him than people who want the others, I don't think this should be as big a deal as just like it shouldn't be as big a deal as it was made when, whoever wins the White House wins the White House. More people want them, they win.
That's how it works. I just thought that it was an interesting story because there's just been so much complaining about him. And it's like, I think a lot of the complaining does come from people in New York, but a lot of it is from people who don't even live there.
Yeah.
It's like, well, the people who live in New York seem to be making their opinions known.
So I'll be fair. I haven't studied his platform. I know that he leans on the side of being, what would you say, Andrew? Would you say he leans more on the side of being for democracy, but also more of a socialized version of it? Is that a fair description? So. Because I haven't.
I think it's a little more than a lean.
Yeah. It's a heavy lean. But again, if the people who are there, they want that, they get that, because I noticed that the people that are pushing back the hardest are the rich people.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what that tells me, except that it's an interesting dynamic, because I know there's a lot. I did read this. There's a lot of money from Wall Street being pushed towards Cuomo and being pushed towards Eric Adams. And obviously, because people on Wall Street have a lot of money, manage a lot of money, that's what they care about, which, again, is an interesting dynamic in our country, isn't it? That like we are about the vote and every person's vote counts, but not everybody's opinion or viewpoint counts the same. You have a larger view, a larger opinion, a more important opinion, and a larger voice when you have more money.
That's true.
Because you get to use that to try to influence other people.
Let's do a couple more stories here. We're running out of time. I'll do a couple of quick ones. And Just Like That, the Sex and the City sequel is coming to an end. They announced this week the series would wrap up after the third season concludes. That'll happen on August 14th. Just thought this was very interesting because there was so much complaining about this show online. And then as soon as they canceled it, everybody's like, well, we didn't want you to cancel it.
No, that was my favorite show.
I don't know what I'm going to do without it.
One more story for you. Popular 1980s actor Lonnie Anderson of the hit TV series WKRP in Cincinnati has passed away just days before her 80th birthday. She had a prolonged illness, according to her publicist.
Man, that show, Dave, well, I was a kid. I didn't see it in its prime time, but I saw it in syndication. It was a great show. Absolutely hilarious. But one of the real few, and I know maybe Rachel, you would appreciate it too, because you appreciate Frasier for this reason because of the radio aspect. But it had a lot of real good radio things in it.
That's fun.
The industry things were kind of in there in the jokes.
Yeah, I was thinking when I got that story together, like radio was so popular that they were making television shows about multiple television shows about
Johnny
I had never
Fever.
even heard of that one.
Oh, and Lonnie Anderson would have been, I don't know, one of the most popular actresses in Hollywood. Certainly married. Was she
Oh,
married to
yeah.
Burt Reynolds?
Yeah, for
I think that was a
little
big
bit.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah. R.I.P. Lonnie.
Dave, thanks so much.
You got it.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, this traffic report's a service of Terrace Senior Living of Eureka. It looks like they were clearing that crash. The delays we had eastbound 70 coming through 170 are gone, and north 170 is just a little slow in Natural Bridge, so things are pretty much back to normal there. I'd call that cleared. Westbound Highway 70 is a little off the pace at Sunbell, right through T.R. Hughes. But again, after that, it looks good. Westbound 64, Kings Highway out to Clayton Skinkers, bogged down. Lindbergh to Ballas, and then again after that, just a little slow at the Boone Bridge and at Prospect, so no big deal out west. Southbound 170 bogs down at Ladue. South 270, Page to Ladue is busy. South of 64 to about Doherty Ferry slow, and after that, you're home free. Southbound 55, a little heavy approaching Bates. There is still a jam up at a couple of spots south of M down towards Z, but after that, you're home free down towards 67 where they had the earlier crash around Highway A, and there's still heavy traffic westbound 64, both sides of Route 4 due to that emergency repair work on the Illinois side. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Check out the Terrace in Eureka for affordable senior living with 24-hour nursing supervision, delicious meals, medication management, and activities. The Terrace is affordable and will work with your Medicaid plan. Go to rspseniorliving.com and look for the Terrace Private Assisted Living.
It is Pet Appreciation Month at Zero Res. We all love our pets. I love my pets. Mine are getting older and don't always make it to the bathroom, you know what I mean? And so, especially with this really bad heat that we've had the last month or so, the smells can be pretty bad. And you can use over-the-counter stuff, but it just doesn't work as well. So Zero Res, in honor of Pet Appreciation Month, is giving you this deal. 3 rooms of carpet clean for $129, 15% off pet odor treatments, $50 off your air duct cleaning. So Zero Res has been to my house to do my little piece of carpeting many times. They do a great job. They are punctual. They are professional. They are courteous. They work their butts off. And with the 30-day Gotta Love It guarantee, if they do all those things, but you're still not super happy, give them a call. They'll come back and do it again until you are. 314-474-2020. You can also book online at ZeroResSTL.com.
The KMOX City SC Soccer Showcase, presented by Michelob Ultra. It's the Hot Shot Sports Bar and Grill on Lindbergh, Thursday, August 7th. A limited number of fans can get an autograph or a picture with City SC defensive midfielder Jake Gerwood-Reich. Register to win great prizes. Enjoy great food and a cold drink. Hot Shots on Lindbergh, the place to be, Thursday, August 7th from 6 till 8 p.m. for the City SC Soccer Showcase, presented by Michelob Ultra. For more info, KMOX.com/events. If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Summer is here, and it's time to plan your style staycation with Bob's Discount Furniture, where you can find everyday low prices on the hottest styles. The comfiest Consumer Reports recommended mattresses, fast, friendly delivery, and flexible financing to fit your budget. Go to mybobs.com for details. So stock up and score everyday low prices, delivered on time all summer long at your nearest store or at mybobs.com.
Oh, my Bob! Bob's Discount Furniture.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-day kitchen and bath.
Here's another satisfied customer of 3-day kitchen and bath, Anita Bennett.
When I first heard about 3-day kitchen and bath, I thought, there's no way they could do a good job in 3 days, and they must carry only the plain Jane basics in cabinets, countertops, and flooring. Then they came to our house and we found out they offered top quality materials with tons of choices and lots of custom options. They worked with us to design a bathroom that was perfect for our family. They looked at our needs and thought of details I hadn't even considered. The installation was clean, thorough, and professional, and they were done in just 3 days. When we got back from the hotel, I couldn't believe the difference. The bathroom is beautiful.
See us on the web at 3daykitchen.com.
It's about time.
3 days or less.
At 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Man, Rachel, you going for the deep cut there.
I like the Kinks.
I have not heard that in a long time.
It's been sitting in my bumper music folder for
Really?
a while now, yeah.
Man. They were good. They're just like they're not my thing because it's not, you know.
Well, yeah, they're not
it's not heavy enough. But they had that little edge to them. They got that little bit of that to them.
Yeah.
They were one of the
I think it's called rock.
Yeah. Oh man. The things that we end up so I'm going to ask you guys this just off the top of my head on that. So I think back, and when I was a kid, I would hear that and I loved it. And then I would hear like each progression up. So like I started with like regular old classic rock and roll stuff. And then you start to hear something that's a little louder, a little heavier. Like, ooh, I like that even more. And then it just kind of kept on going. Do you guys have a thing like that where you started at one level and now you're 10 levels different just because as you got exposed, you wanted more? Or is it not like that and that's just me?
No, it's not that it's just you. I'm just trying to think of like something that I need like
more.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it is just like my personality type. Where you're like, oh, I like that. Where's more? What can we do more than that? You ever get that way, Andrew, with like video games? Because video games is another area where I'm like that. I'm like, oh, that was cool. I want to do more. Let's take it to the next level.
Yeah, I'll get like more drawn in.
Yeah.
By stuff. Seek out more genres,
like
right? Or more similar genres.
Well, like the things that you used to like in a game 20 years ago probably don't do it for you anymore.
Some of them.
Do they?
Some of them do. Some of them not so much.
Yeah, for me, it's really hard. Like I can't go back and play like Pac-Man after what I've seen. It's a whole new world. It's the Kinks.
Been sharing some success stories with you from the Gelman team from the DGS. Here's another one. Ryan and Laura were relocating outside of St. Louis and purchased a new home while their current home in Frontenac was listed with the Gelman team for $2.175. The good news is the Gelman